Whew. Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet now a little bit hair. Man, I do say that faster every time. And welcome to Live and Wired, episode 16, Starships and Spellchck. And joining us as always, well, us being me, Patricia, and Creepy. Well, I just spoiled it.
Yeah.
Way to go. Good job.
I've only done this introduction how many times now?
This will be your 16th.
Yeah.
Yes, I should have realized that.
And that's another thing. And you also mispronounced Spellchck.
I think that was intentional.
I don't know. With the role he's been on so far, I question that.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, Creepy.
As with the doubt that there is going to be any benefit from it. So yes, hello chat and welcome. We got
Hey, everybody.
Got a lot of familiar faces already. Salaya Warkeho. Why am I trying to pronounce names?
Yeah, I think that I know that Decker's not 100% yet, so I think that maybe
Ryan Walterson's pointing out that fellow Manic Expression contributor, the Cartoon Hero, is doing their first stream right now.
Yes, he is.
Now we have competition.
He had to pick our time slot, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like, okay, screw it. I'm gonna aim for Live and Wide. We're doing it at the same time. We're gonna pull a Tanacon here.
Yes, exactly. But nonetheless, we do congratulate the Cartoon Hero for doing his very first live stream.
Yes. Wasn't there a lot of shows that tried to do the same thing with Cosby back in the day?
I think Sledgehammer actually did go up against Bill Cosby.
Oh,
I think it was Sledgehammer.
Yes.
Also,
and I know everybody's been asking about the Godzilla 2 trailer, but don't you worry, we are going to be talking about that because even though I, as mentioned on Twitter, even though that I had gotten the entire news sheet finished for Live and Wired, then San Diego Comic-Con hit, and it bombarded me with a whole bunch of news articles, and I'm like, damn, this show is going to be it's going to take a while, isn't it? So, yeah. Don't worry, we're going to be discussing about that and many more.
11 is in the new Godzilla.
Yes, Millie Bobby Brown, who's 11 in Stranger Things, she's going to be in the new Godzilla movie.
Okay. I was thinking like, who 11 is that? Someone actually named 11? Because I know that Deantwood, they get a kid and their kid is named some number.
Yeah.
Their actual name. I can't remember what number it is.
Godzilla is brought to you by Sesame Street. Today we're going to be today on Sesame Street we're talking about the number 11 and the letter G for Godzilla.
That cult dude says San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Can't wait for this possibly 3-hour stream.
I got the list of all the stuff we're supposed to talk about it. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, 3 hours is kind of a lowball figure.
Yes, thank you so much, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, like if we spend maybe 3 minutes, talking about each subject, maybe we'll finish like in a 2-hour time frame.
We'll do our best.
What's going on with is it the dust cloud? Is it just something in the water all of a sudden? But like, oh crap, is everyone feeling terrible right now? So I'm just like, oh god, I don't know if I'm going to make 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Hey, who wants to start the betting pool on whether or not Decker loses consciousness on this episode of Live and Wire? I can talk. Decker can't focus. That's nothing new. I can't talk. The only functional one is Patricia, and she's not here anymore.
Squatalaw Guide AC says, Halloween 3 review when? And he's getting to the important things.
Yes.
I finally, like I said, feeling terrible for quite a while for some reason, and but still got the script done yesterday. Just earlier today, finished filming most of it. Still have to film a couple little parts here and there, but the vast majority of the review is filmed, and I can start editing with what I have already. Is after Live and Wired, I'm probably not gonna. It's gonna be too dark outside. I'm not gonna be able to film anymore.
So sometime next week, maybe.
I'm aiming for ASAP, which could be Monday for all I know.
TBD.
Mm-hmm.
And Toby Kirkby dropped £2 saying, in a super chat, saying, "For the love of God, Creepy, stop day drinking."
Day drinking?
Day drinking?
I have never heard of that term before.
That's where you're like, it's 5 a.m. somewhere. And we got a 10-pound super chat dropped by a white girl blackwash to feel white guilt, saying, Decker, please review The Lawnmower Man 1997 about a man who goes into virtual reality. And since I've been getting really into virtual reality, as anyone knows who's checked my gaming channel and hasn't been upset that also over the last week I've streamed like one time. I've been doing a lot of VR on my gaming channel because I really like VR, virtual reality. It's like amazing. So now that virtual reality is a much more common thing, and actual virtual reality.
Yeah.
Sly of War.
Interesting look in the 90s when everything was supposed to be virtual reality but wasn't.
Yeah. Sly of War Kehoe says, day drinking, it's like replacing your cereal's milk with whiskey.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my burial.
Yeah, I've never actually done that before, so okay.
Interesting.
So a little Lucky Charms and some O'Douls, Just...
Can't believe that Decker does that, though.
Yes, waffle crisp with rum chata.
Oh, that sounds good, actually.
I'm sure that would be tasty. I'm sure that'd be really tasty. I have a little bit of the waffle crisp with the waffle flavor, and then you have like the cinnamon rum horchata. I think that may be a new. that's going to be a 21+ cereal for all you for all you older kids.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm just thinking like, okay, so we have the Crown Royale. What does that go with? Can I have that with Pop-Tarts?
Now I'm imagining Decker eating these things on Live and Wire, just to see who's willing to donate to see Decker, donate to Super Chat to see Decker eat these things.
Well, Tristan S dropped $2 in Super Chat saying, Decker, have you seen the Godzilla 2 trailer? And I think I was supposed to, but today's been so busy, I actually haven't. But I think we're supposed to talk about it at some point, so you're going to have to fill me in. Oh, God.
This is what I live with.
The jerk asks, are furries people? And that's a good question because I'm wondering from the I'm just saying from the angle of furries are animals. If you say furries are people, is that humanizing them and therefore offensive? It's a brain twist. But Goku's on DBZ dropped $3 saying, please review Digimon the movie.
My God.
I think the twins showed me that one. I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of it?
I can't remember quite so well. There was a lot of Digimon movies, weren't there?
I guess so.
But the one called the movie, like
the one that was released in theaters in the United States was called Digimon the movie.
Yes, very similar.
I was always a little bit surprised that it wasn't called Digimon the movie 2000.
Creepy, you started something. Raymond dropped $2 and said, "I will. He needs to eat them on camera."
Okay, Decker, go get the Pop-Tarts and what did you, Corona, you said?
Yeah, the Corona. Royal Crown.
Royal Crown.
Royal Crown. That's what it is.
Go.
Crown Royale.
Crown Royale.
It's just a little Canadian whiskey.
Yeah. Decker, I mean, someone has said that your public demands, and hey, you had a headache anyway, so you're halfway there.
Decade Prime's asking, Creepy, can you do a retrospective on the Back to the Future cartoon?
Maybe someday. I have a lot already planned ahead of time, but it's not something that I'll say absolutely not on. Yeah. And I do remember I did watch the Back to the Future animated series that came on Saturday mornings way back in, I think it was like 91.
Yeah, I think around that time.
Right. So I'm familiar with it. It's something I haven't watched in a long time, but I do know what you're talking about. And there were episodes that I liked. So
yeah, and also we got to we were introduced to Bill Nye the Science Guy in that show.
Okay, now there's some requests for review of Howard the Duck, and it's suddenly already turning the chat into duck tits. So, maybe we should get onto the news. It's been about 10 minutes.
Let's get on to the news because we got a crap ton to cover. All right, so I mean, what do we start with first? The San Diego Comic-Con stuff or the non-San Diego Comic-Con stuff?
Well, we got an interesting little thing going on in the title card, which if you follow on Facebook or Twitter, you have seen. But if you're watching on YouTube, which is like the only place you can, I'm not allowed to add it until after it's already processed, so you haven't seen.
Okay, so I guess we can start with one of those two. Okay, so let's start off with the movie news because the other stuff that's featured on the title card is actually pretty hilarious. So, Star Wars Episode 9. We do know that it's going to be coming out, and there have been so far a few characters from the old Star Wars movies that have been featured, such as Luke, Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca, etc.
Sorry, Patricia. Two super chats just dropped. One Star Wars related from Goku's on DBEZ saying, thoughts on return of Star Wars Clone Wars? And
we'll be covering that, don't you worry. I already have that in the news sheet.
£5 from Mark Davies saying, hey guys, what's been your favorite trailer to drop from San Diego Comic-Con?
We'll cover that, don't you worry. Because there's a shit ton.
Patricia, you're gonna have to fill me in because I've been so
I know.
I didn't. I usually I go through like the thing. I read all the articles. I watch all the trailers. I'm like, I'm a professional YouTuber. Today I'm like, dear God, Patricia, find some news. We gotta have a show here. I'll talk things to people. They give me money.
Okay, whatever you say, boss. So
this
let's
is
start off.
Exactly what he said. This is exactly the thought process that goes through his brain, just so you and everyone else knows that's how it works.
Goku Mega Man's asking, is Decker drunk?
He's been hitting the hot sauce lately.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we did learn from a recent article from the Hollywood Reporter that at Star Wars Episode 9 will be having back Billy D. Williams as Lando, which I guess at this point it's pretty inevitable that we would have Lando back.
On the one hand, I'm like, yay. On the other hand, I'm like, wait a minute. What happened to Han Solo in Episode 7? What happened to Luke Skywalker in Episode 8? Shit!
On the other hand, the black guy did not die first. So
progress. Anyway, so I'll read the first article because Decker's all loopy. Billy D. Williams is returning to a galaxy far, far away. The actor who famously played the galactic gambler Lando Calrissian will reprise the role for Star Wars Episode 9, the next Star Wars installment from Lucasfilms. Chatter about Williams joining the production, which is set to begin later this summer, increased in recent days when the actor bowed out of an upcoming sci-fi and pop culture convention, citing a conflict with the movie schedule. Sources confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter that Williams will indeed be returning to the Star Wars film franchise for the first time since 1983's Return of the Jedi. The Lando Calrissian character made his suave debut in 1980's The Empire Strikes Back. Williams has in recent years returned to the role that fuels his appearance on the convention circuit, voicing Calrissian in various cartoon series and video games. The character is one of the most popular personages in the Star Wars universe and appeared in a major way in this year's Solo: A Star Wars Story with Donald Glover. Episode 9 is being directed by J.J. Abrams and will reunite Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, and Adam Driver, among others. And Kerry Russell is one of the new additions. The film is set to open in December 20th, 2019, which I know that this actually came out like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know if, there's going to be I don't know if there was any like new information about the Star Wars movie since then. So this is what we know of so far. So yeah, we have Lando back. Hooray.
I like Lando. Lando is awesome. So I'm glad to see him.
Also, we got a $2 super chat from Tristan S. saying, Decker, do a review of A Quiet Place. You'll love it. And I've heard very many good things about A Quiet Place, but I haven't seen anything of it except for the fact that when I was wandering around aimlessly in Los Angeles, starving and cold and hungry, that just sounds familiar. Anyway, there were billboards for A Quiet Place. I distinctly remember that.
Yes, I've been seeing
it. Remembers. This is what he saw and what he remembers. And hey, at least LA didn't take as long.
Yeah, there's that.
That is true. So yeah, I'm actually curious about where Star Wars Episode 9 is going to take in to the story.
Brandon Kilgore says that MST3K should do Star Wars 8, and I'm thinking, didn't I mean Rift Tracks do a lot of new movies, so that's a lot of the original people from Mystery Science Theater 3000. So did Rift Tracks maybe do Episode 8 already?
I don't know.
I know that the new Mystery Science Theater 3000 has not done any Star Wars movies yet. There is supposed to be a new MST3K season, though. A season, I believe, 11 is what is going to be coming out.
Yes, and
we kind of went from Star Wars to that. We went to Lando to Star Wars to MST3K.
Mason Pinson's asking, what did I think of Creepy's dance video? And I'm just like, man, I should have included more Michael Myers dancing in the Halloween 2 episode.
You really should have, because the only reason that I appeared in it, like I was originally going to just take Decker's dance footage and set it to the Happy Halloween jingle from Halloween 3. Unfortunately, there was only a grand total of maybe 15 seconds of it. And so I would have had to have played that on a loop for over a minute. Longer if I had kept in the actual... Like, there was dialogue in it as well, but I cut that part out. So it would have been even longer if I kept that in. So I filmed myself dancing as Jason to fill in the gap, basically, and so it could, have more time to work with. And even then, like, if you're watching it, like actually watching it and not laughing, you'll notice there's a lot of repeating footage there.
Hey, I mean, a lot of people were actually really... saying a lot of positive things about it. I mean, wasn't the guy who originally requested it saying that he wanted it to be at least 10 hours long?
Yeah. There was a guy on Decker's channel who said that Decker dancing as Michael Myers should last. That should happen for 10 hours, and so I was like, I'm not doing this, making a 10-hour video of this, but I will make a minute video of this. So I very quickly filmed myself dancing. I got the Halloween 2 review ripped off of YouTube, spliced that all together, rendered it, and got it uploaded. And at the moment, according to YouTube, it's been up for 3 days, and it has over 900 views. So,
not bad. Alex M says, damn, I've never seen this live. This is awesome. I just came home from work and I finally am here live with you guys. This is awesome. Heart, 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 heart.
Aww.
Heart.
It's a heart. It's nice. Heart.
Yes.
It is.
All right, now let's show off what the second, thing that was featured in the title screen, because, my God, it was actually pretty funny when I actually found this out, when looking through articles for this episode of Lion Fin Wire. So, for anybody who remembers, one of the worst games that came out in 2013 was Aliens Colonial Marines, a game that is known for having, like, really, really bad AI and... basically just a butchering of the Alien franchise that not only was pretty mediocre, but also it showcased on the trailers. If you did see the trailers from previous conventions that showcased the game, there were flat out lies. So this is an interesting particular article that was discovered, that was posted, that was somebody who discovered it. So apparently, the bad AI that was featured in the Aliens was due to a one-letter typo, which is hence why Decker's title is called Spellchck with no E. That's why. So...
Well, one E.
Yeah, one E. Yeah. Okay, so to give a brief discussion about this. So, basically, this guy on a forum basically found out that the spelling mistake on the INI file was from tether to tether. So it was just that one letter, which basically caused the AI of the aliens to go berserk. And there's actually, I believe there is a not in this article.
From what I hear about how the aliens behave with the spelling correct versus not, is if the thing is actually sent to actually have it go through the AI setup for the aliens, then the AI they actually did program AI for them, actually is pretty good, and they figure out what's in their surroundings. They crawl on walls. They go around. They slink in corners. They check out where groups are. They go and they fight like aliens, and it's scary and they're unpredictable. But if that isn't working right, instead of it just canceling out the whole program, evidently there was like a little fail-safe, but they just turn into drooling idiots that just charge at you like and that's what we got. That was our game. I played it
really
channel.
quick. Yeah, sorry to butt in. Really quick. Dime Blade 17 dropped a $5 super chat. What would you do if you had Steven Seagal powers?
If you rob a bank, you won't have to worry about getting shot or mauled at. That way you can just basically just walk in, grab the money, and go like if there was nothing.
Also, when you get older, bad guys just fall down in front of you without you having to hit them.
Jacob Kennedy's just asking, creepy, you remember this one? Traveler's Dimension Police.
Yes!
Nice. We have 109 Nook from Alex N, who says, haha, that heart message I sent was heartfelt. All of you and your followers are awesome, and I'm really happy to be part of your community. Well, thank you, Alex. We really do appreciate it.
Yes.
I have no idea what knocks are, but that showed up yellow, so I assume it's good.
Yes.
Actually, we have the internet, so we can find out.
Yes, you do that. In the meantime, it's just funny to think that that a simple typo with the AI in a video game can be able to get things to go berserk, because a lot of people, speaking of which, a 2-pound comment from Mark Davies, who says, in fairness, it gave us the fun of Derpy the alien.
Oh yeah, but Derpy, I think, was supposed to be like fungus ate its brain. It was supposed to be zombie, but it still behaved pretty much the same as the regular aliens.
Yeah, that's true. But still, even when that particular article that I just read of the person who did review it the first time, even though that he played a modded version where they fixed up the one, letter error, he said that it did function slightly better with the aliens AI, but the game was still not very good. So, I mean, hey, there's progress, which, it gets to thinking about, like, the fact that developers have to do tweaks and patches and bug checks. You question about, like, how did it happen? Just, I don't know. I guess that's maybe the programming and the code was flawed from the beginning.
Michael Wolf says his copy of Colonial Marines crashes every time they shoot an alien. Every single shot.
Wow.
I remember I had
Daikatana doesn't crash that often.
I can't remember if it was like the original AVP PC game or AVP 2 PC, like way back when. I was playing it on a Celeron, and I had a terrible memory leak. The game would run very smooth for the first second, and then it start chugging, and really quickly it would just start going into slideshow mode, where it would I'd get 1 frame a second, then 1 frame every 3 seconds, then 1 frame every 10 seconds, and unplayable doesn't begin to describe it.
Also, real quick, Rebby the Wolfie. I am very happy about Mothra, and yes, I am looking forward to a new Shobijin song. Just wanted to throw that out there.
All right. Well, we got the title stuff out of the way, so let's actually discuss about some other things that are going to be coming up. I actually have something that we can talk about. An upcoming movie that was recently revealed, one of New Line Cinema's newest movies. So, for any fans of Decker who have been following his work for years, you may remember that a few years ago, Decker had reviewed a low-budget movie called La Llorona, which is about a Mexican folktale about a woman who drowned her kids. Well, New Line Cinema has recently announced that they're going to be making their that's not a freaking there we go. New Line Cinema is going to be doing their take on La Llorona, which was originally called The Children, but now it's called The Curse of La Llorona, which will be coming out in April 19th.
I think the pronunciation is supposed to be La Llorona, but I don't know. It's 2 L's. How the hell you...
Anyway.
I'm gonna
You sound
talk
like
to
Star-
you in
you
the
sound-
entire linguistics of your language.
We sound like Star Fox characters.
Also, this is actually it is a Mexican folktale, but there are other cultures who have similar folktales to it, and the umbrella term for it is the woman in white, a female figure who usually who dies due to tragedy and comes back because of some kind of grudge. So there is a long list of different folktales and urban legends that revolve around this type of figure.
Goku's on DBZ dropped $2 and asked, "What would you do if you were a Saiyan, Decker?" And I'm thinking that's about the same as the Seagal question, except now I can fly and throw fireballs too.
Yeah, pretty much. So
I pretty much just fly everywhere. Like, forget the car. Just
Creepy, would you like to read this one? It's not very long.
Okay. Let me see. It was revealed ahead of the San Diego Comic-Con that New Line Cinema and Atomic Monsters, The Children, has finally been retitled The Curse of La Llorona. We'll just go with that name for right now. I mean, plenty of people can tell us how wrong we are. It will be previewed next week as part of New Line's second annual Scare Diego. Janie Lynn Kinchin?
Yeah, Kinchin.
Okay, Janie Lynn Kinchin is the lead in the horror film, directed by Michael Chaves. I'm assuming I got that last part right. Which was revealed to be released in theaters on April 19th, 2019. Youngster Roman Christo was also in the film, follows a social worker investigating the disappearance of 2 children and soon learns her own family may too be in danger. Raymond Cruz of Breaking Bad fame will play Catholic priest turned shaman alongside a cast that also includes Linda Cardellini, who played Velma in the live-action Scooby movies and was awesome, Sean Patrick Thomas, and Patricia Velasquez. Bloody Disgusting shared the world-exclusive online premiere of Chavez's short film, The Maiden. It was a monster success among our readers and created quite the buzz in the industry. James Wan, Emil Gladstone, and Gary Dauberman produced The Children, with Michael Clear executive producing. The film was written by Miki Dautry and Tobias Iconis, I guess.
I don't know. Anyway, and also here is the trailer for anybody who is interested in checking it out.
And Random Ass Entertainment Games says, "Decker, acknowledge me!"
Okay. You have been acknowledged.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and it'll definitely be a lot.
Satoshi Katsumoto says it's pronounced Yarona.
Yarona. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Yes. So yeah, this will probably be leagues better than the one that you covered, Decker. It's that low budget movie that looks like it came from an asylum. From Asylum. That's what I was going to say.
Oh yeah, but it's funny though, because I mean I've been getting some comments on Haunted from Within, that review recently, because in that review I kind of do a little skit in the opening that's sort of a play on some of the way that the thing is filmed. Mm-hmm. But I go over my own history as a online critic at the time and how I had signed up for that guy with the glasses and got flat out turned down. And I'm getting a lot of comments now like, well, I bet you're happy they turned you down now, huh?
Actually, I think that was something that all 3 of us, when the Live and Wired episode that went up about what was going on with Channel Awesome, the Change to the Channel episode, it was we were all talking about how we felt like we had dodged a bullet there.
Yes. Yeah. Well, but to be fair, I mean, I think that the 2 of you would have been the closest to have been drafted into Channel Awesome. I doubt I would have been.
Yeah.
And Darth Necrosis says, "Aren't you glad you dodged that bullet?"
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a 2-pound comment from Toby Kirkby who says, "It's pronounced my Sharona."
Oh man, yes, I know that song. Okay. Also, Satoshi Katsumoto. Yes, I am aware about Young Justice Outsiders. I'm very excited. And yes, I heard today that Steven Universe is getting a movie, so...
Yeah. Well, we'll be covering that, don't you worry. because they're, thanks to San Diego Comic-Con, we have a lot of stuff that, was featured, and which, I do have all the articles saved up.
Mhm.
All right, so let's go over to some YouTube news, because Decker loves those. It's his favorite.
Yay!
Yay! All right, so this is actually one of the first things that I did see when preparing the article, the news sheet, which, my God, just why? Logan Paul is making a documentary about the past year in which, the whole incident at Japan happened. So, yeah.
I mean, when you poke corpses, people just don't leave you alone about it.
Just why? Seriously, just why?
I know they say that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, or maybe it's just by its cover, but looking at this guy's face, I mean, it just looks kind of douchey.
Yeah.
And vacant. I mean, I have the feeling that if he wasn't wearing the shades, his face would be going like this.
Let me click on that. There we go.
Anyway, does somebody want me to read this too and spare the two of you the agony?
Please, go ahead.
Welcome to Development Hell, the fiery pit in which we fling recent developments in casting, distribution, and everything else that's new and mildly interesting into the Boshane Phasmagoria of the entertainment industry. We'll be honest, some days down here in Development Hell are hotter than others. Days where the news is not, to put none too fine a point on it, good. Days where we are forced to really come to terms with the depths of what our roles as entertainment journalists force us to think about on a regular basis. Today is one of those days. I have a feeling we're all sharing in that sentiment right about now. Which is all to say, Logan Paul has announced he's making a comeback of sorts, posting a video today explaining that he's been gearing up to make a new documentary about how hard his life has gotten this year, ever since he saw a dead body in a Japanese suicide forest and then had to wrestle, not just with the barest dim flickerings of his own mortality.
Got a couple of interesting comments here.
Okay.
We got, crud. I got it. Okay, here we go. Patrick Johnson says you'd think after the corpse thing you did was stop promoting these assholes. Tayopak said they say Logan earned loads from the Japan incidents. And where was the last one? Oh, okay. Narlac said Logan Paul isn't famous enough for a documentary, more like a post-it note. PewDiePie, sure, but the Pauls, no. And we just got 109 more knock from Alex N saying, I'm not sure if you're a Resident Evil fan, Decker, but are you going to play the Resident Evil 2 remastered / reimagining on your gaming channel? 100 knock is like $12. So
thank you.
Yeah,
also, it's Nigerian, I believe. I looked that up earlier, and it's part of, I believe, it's according to Google, it's it's basically abbreviation for the Nigerian. Oh no, Norway, not Nigeria.
Norway, okay.
Yeah, okay. For the Nigerian krone, the currency of Norway. For the I can say words. I can say words. I swear. For the Norwegian krone, the currency of Norway. Damn it!
Nigerian krone, the currency of Norway.
I am just I am bad tonight.
But yes, I do intend to play the Resident Evil 2 remaster remake probably as soon as I can. So when it's new, even though I'm not really the most excited about it, I feel very disappointed in the fact that it was not remade in the same way as the Resident Evil 1 remake had the same kind of gameplay as Resident Evil 1, even though Resident Evil 4 was the newest kind of thing at the time.
To be fair, Decker, the original Resident Evil remake didn't do very well when it first came out. And
it was exclusive to the Nintendo GameCube.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So the fact that happened, combined with how Resident Evil 4 became such a massive success, I guess they thought, hey, let's make Resident Evil 2 similar to Resident Evil 4. Even though Resident Evil 7, we got back to the original roots. I don't know.
But yeah, back on the Paul topic.
Do we need to?
Mr. Bone
very quickly, yeah.
Okay.
There was somebody who said
Mr. Bone
that,
Show says that I don't think he deserves to talk about how hard his life has gotten. He and his brother made thousands of dollars a year, annoying the crap out of people and making idiots out of themselves in public.
Yeah.
And Alex N dropped 55 Knox saying it's Norway creepy. Norway!
Norway! Yes, it is. I sincerely apologize. There was somebody else, that 80s dude, or hold on. I'm looking. That 80s guy, Dave, was saying, you'd think this guy had never stood in front of a camera reading a script before. Not at the moment, you wouldn't think that. Also, Revy the Wolf. I actually do have a persona. It's a black wolf.
People's Republic of Kashka says, I don't know why people did not get as mad when Jake and Logan Paul jumped into the river in Italy when the rivers that go through Italian cities are considered national landmarks to Italians. Now, I think the reason I didn't get upset there is because I didn't hear about it, probably because it takes a little more explanation to get to people. Okay, guys, this river that they jumped in, you're not allowed to jump in this specific river in this specific location. It's very faux pas. Whereas poke the corpse for fun is pretty universally understood to be a really shitty thing to do.
Yeah. Logan Paul, contemplate your life choices on the Tree of Woe. Okay, back to this. Okay,
yes,
and then to wrestle not with the barest dim flickerings of his own mortality, but also with the baffling fact that people didn't like the way he minded another human being's death in the name of content. Paul, who's also preparing for a YouTube celebrity boxing match alongside his brother Jake. Oh man, imagine being related to that guy. Because the wheels never stop turning.
Ash928 says at Decker Shado, hi for the 10th time. I can acknowledge people sometimes.
What were we? Says he intends to put out an inspirational spin on the whole story. What the hell? I just read those words out loud.
I saw the body hanging there, and I just knew I had to make light of this situation.
Okay. Presumably focusing less on the getting demonized by YouTube and tasing dead rats side of his recent life story, and more in his upbringing and the way he brings out the best in American kids.
Not demonized.
Oh, demonetized. Yeah. Demonetized, demonized. Well,
they're the same thing.
Yeah, but and I mean, like, honestly, he deserves both. Scroll down, if you will. I cannot do that.
No, that's the other stuff. It has nothing to do with.
Okay. So never mind then. My apologies. Oh, good. Then this isn't going to be nearly as long as I thought it was. I saw all of that and I was like, damn, how long can they talk about this one guy that nobody?
Yeah, we're done.
King Cold says, seriously, I've seen roaches more likable than Logan Paul. And what was that movie called? So-and-so's Apartment? Where he had his roaches and they all talked and they were very, very charming, actually.
I never heard of that.
I can't remember. Was it? I don't want to say Brad's apartment. Someone's apartment. What's this movie called? Damn it!
Somebody's apartment. Yes.
Padawan Graham says penis. Ah, damn it! No, Joe's apartment. King Cold got it. Joe's apartment. Yes. John Ratsey. Everyone's saying this is a lag in the delay. Everyone knows this but me. Ah!
I don't know it.
Oh God! Everyone like Joe.
Welcome to Joe's apartment. Yeah, that was the one with the talking cockroaches. Why haven't you reviewed that one, Decker?
I don't know, like the roach. I like the killing the roach.
What he said. All right.
Creepy's apartment. Okay.
Random Ass Entertainment says McGird, the delay.
My God.
Oh man.
All right, next one. So yeah, let's talk about video games this time. So we did mention briefly about that there was going to be a lot of video game movies, and for one that we haven't heard for the longest time was the Metal Gear Solid movie. So recently, Metal Gear Solid celebrated its 31th anniversary, and so the guy who's Yes, I know. So the guy who's directing...
What's with that Vimeo ad? Stop. What's the fake? Why?
Go away. Okay.
Thank you.
So Yeah. So so in the 31st anniversary of the original Metal Gear, the director of the movie, Jordan Vogt Roberts, posted a little bit of a teaser on Twitter, discussing about what he is going to be doing for Metal Gear. He's going to be posting up 31 teasers in 31 days on his Twitter. And so far, we've only seen like a couple of them, including this picture right here. And also, there's a bit of a video that was also posted as well, which you can also check out on his Twitter account. And I'm sure there's a lot of other things that he teased about as of, when this article came out, which was on the 13th. So yeah, it's just been about a week ago. So probably about like at least about a few others. So he's been discussing about how he wants to be faithful to Metal Gear Solid and how, he's trying to do his very best in order for this to be like a very faithful retelling of Metal Gear Solid. So so far with this picture right here, we do see a picture of Metal Gear Rex, and we have a soldier right over here. We don't know if I don't think that's Snake yet. I don't think so. So yeah, basically, throughout 31 days, he's going to be posting up some teasers about the upcoming movie.
Patrick Johnson says, I'll still be disappointed if there aren't naked ride-in cartwheels in the sequel.
I mean, that depends if he actually does get to return in, for the sequel, and if even the first movie does well in the first place.
Right. Also, I mean, like every time I hear a director say they're trying to stay faithful to a movie that's based on an alternative source, I automatically think, yeah, this means they already know exactly how much they're going to change, and it's going to be about this much of it.
I mean, it's going to be really difficult because, like, the scene with Psycho Mantis, in which, you have to plug in your controller into the second port. How is a person supposed to do that in a theater? Oh, in order for you to know in order for you to defeat this, you need to go from this theater room to the other theater room so you can find out what happens next. That's going to happen. Oh, and if you want to find out how to contact Meryl, it's going to be in the back of your popcorn bag.
Actually,
hey, everyone clap to get Meryl to get better.
Yeah. Also, Patricia, if they ever do a live interactive version of the Metal Gear movie, the way they do Rocky Horror, those are ways they could actually do that. Now we just need all the Metal Gear characters dancing the time warp together up in front of the stage.
That 80s guy Dave says they could make you put on 3D glasses or something for that part to see special effects.
That could be cool.
That's true. Oh, by the way, Decker, they built a new Metal Gear.
Wow.
Metal Gear.
What about the Pentagon?
Pentagon.
I have a penis.
Penis. That's it. Whenever I get in the Solid Snake, I just keep repeating the last thing everyone says, and they always get me.
Yep.
Yes.
And Random Ass Entertainment Game says it sounds like a super nerdy game of Metal Gear musical chairs.
Yes, that's what's going to happen. I can assure you on that. There's also another article, to cut the fat from this lengthy episode of Live and Wire, which is probably going to be the case.
The 8-hour
the guy
Live and Wire broadcast.
Yeah, the guy, Jordan Roberts, also talked about that if he completes the Metal Gear Solid movie, he also was very interested in doing a Metroid movie. He actually did a pitch to Nintendo and hopes that it would work out very well. So we'll just have to wait and see how that turns out, because there's been a Metroid movie that's been in developmental hell for about almost 15 years. I think John Woo.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I thought it was closer to 20, but okay, we'll say 15.
I mean, I guess it is. Yeah, you're right. Actually, it is close to 20 because there was supposed to be one in 2005 2003 or 4 or something, because
2002 maybe.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, because that was when Metroid Prime came out, and I think that
Right.
John Woo was supposed to be the director, and there was like talks about it, but it never happened. So
right, and ironically, there's two things. Is that the thing that seemed like it really kickstarted the idea that Metroid could be a movie was Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo. Because that was the games were always had an element of being non-linear, but that was when Super Metroid is considered to be like even better than the first two games. So
it is actually.
Yeah. I've played it. It is. And the second thing is that the even more ironic is that Metroid was inspired by a movie, Alien.
Yeah,
the first one. The idea of making the main character female was, well, Alien, Ripley, the main character in that movie. And the whole thing with aliens and them having energy-sucking powers was from the Metroids were inspired by the Xenomorphs.
And it's a very dark kind of horror sort of setting.
Exactly.
Where you didn't know where to go. You didn't know what was around the corner. You didn't know what was coming, and you didn't know really what to do, but you had to use your wits and everything you found to try and... Puzzles work really well in horror, because when you have to think, you have to try and map things out, and you realize just how big of a frickin' labyrinth you've got yourself into.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if Jordan Vaught Roberts does well with the Metal Gear movie, and if Nintendo approves the Metroid movie, then who knows? I mean, maybe we could finally get that comeback of Metroid that we haven't seen since the Prime series.
Yeah, I mean, I would not mind seeing a Metroid movie. That'd be awesome. I'd like to see a really good...
I'm very worried that it would end up very close to Other M.
Oh, God, no! Oh, don't even mention that name. Jeez.
Like, have minimal people and have the Samus... I mean, we're all going to know that Samus is a lady anyway, but just kind of have Samus in the suit kicking ass in horrifyingly terrifying situations.
Yeah, and if you want to flesh out Samus's character, then it has been done before. Metroid Fusion has an amazing story, and the Metroid manga was incredible. And it did actually discuss more about Samus's backstory, and also, it actually gave a purpose and a reasoning that of why Samus was going through PTSD when she met up with Ridley. First of all, she was 14, and it was the first time that she saw him when she was 3, and she didn't know what to do. And Ridley was talking to her about how he ate her mother, and that part of his flesh that Samus's father burned out was like near towards his wing, and it was pretty scary. And then when Samus met up with him again when she was at Zebes, she basically just pointed out her arm cannon and shot a missile and told him to rot in hell the next time that she saw him. So I have no idea what Other M was, the whole PTSD thing. I mean, I guess, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No. Ran away. Okay. That was abrupt.
Yeah, I'll say. That Cold Dude says, I thought you meant Metroid was going to be like the Mario movie. Oh, speaking of the Mario movie, that's going to be a nice jump way to our next segment. Yeah. So yes, there actually has been an article discussing about the upcoming Super Mario Brothers movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess we can finally take a break from that after talking about Sonic 2 times in a row.
Thank you.
Yes.
So that does remind me, I was at the twins' place today. They were like, hey, did you know that they're making a Sonic movie? And I'm like, yeah, I know.
And Jim Carrey's going to play as Dr. Robotnik?
Yeah, I said that, and they were like, what?
Yeah. All right, well, this is a pretty short article, so go ahead, Decker. You can read this one.
Okay. What's the goal of the Mario movie? Who's it intended for? Nintendo has been working hard in the last few years to expand their brand in ways that are meaningful. They put their IPs in the mobile market. They're having a theme park built around their characters, and earlier this year, a Mario movie was confirmed to be in development by Illumination. And while the movie has some excited, especially because it'll be an animated and not live action, fucking Sonic, many are curious about the intent of the film. Reggie Fils-Aimé of Nintendo was asked yet, and What?
I don't know.
It was asked yet, and he noted. Certainly, our focus from a Nintendo perspective, as well as working with such an accomplished partner like Illumination, is to make sure that what is created is something both fans will love, as well as it will be a great introduction to folks who are not familiar with the world of Mario. No word on a potential release date for this film. Apparently, things are still being worked out.
I mean, unless you're a really little kid, I mean, who hasn't heard of Mario? It has been stated many times that Mario is like one of the most.
I'm sorry, but little kids, like there was my fiance's brother had his birthday here very recently at the next house over, and so the little kids were all over the place, and they came in here to see the cat. For some reason, they thought that Dobby might be nice. They were wrong, but. I just little kids who don't know Nintendo characters. The little boy points at Malink and he's like, "It's Zelda," and I'm like, "You fucking what,
mate?" Actually, I need to do the same thing Decker did, but probably for different reasons. I need to stand up and do something about the Bond lighting that is turning me into a cliched supervillain.
I love cliche supervillain.
Yes.
Also, my foot hurts. My foot was falling asleep on me. All of this is information everyone needs to know. This is all critical stuff.
Yes, it is.
That 80s guy Dave says you punched him in the dick for that, right? I told him, actually, that's Link. And the fucking kid looked at it like, it looks like Zelda.
Yes.
I'm going to make sure my kids know. They're going to know.
T. Thomas says, Decker in the new film, Attack of the Children That Don't Know Shit.
Actually, 80s dude, knowing Decker as well as I do, chances are he sat the kid down and subjected him to a 9-hour lecture on the entire game franchise and which games came out what year, which honestly, I would have rather be subjected to the dick punching because the dick punching ends much sooner.
My God. But still, I'm just surprised that, he would say it was Zelda because, number one, that's a different franchise. That's a girl's name. And, I mean, at this point in time, according to, like, many articles and many discussions that Mario is, like, either the first or the second most well-known character in pop culture, which obviously it's the first one or the second one is Pac-Man. So it always, like, interchanges every single time.
Claire Oswald's like, okay, so there are 3 separate timelines. And it's like, quote from Decker.
Yes.
Yes, there's 3 separate timelines in Mario. There's the Donkey Kong, Pauline Mario, there's the 2D Mario, and there's the 3D Mario. Yes.
Oh, Goku's on DBZ says, Ryan Reynolds voicing Detective Pikachu in movie.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah, because the Detective Pikachu, which is a 3DS game that was in Japan, that was about Pikachu who was a detective and solving crimes, and that Pikachu talked in like a male voice. And I did hear that they're coming into the English version, they're going to have Ryan Reynolds. And I do know that there was like a meme going on for a while that they wanted Danny DeVito as Pikachu, which is like, what? Like, no.
Can we have a Pokemon
Well, if you heard the male
Diesel
voice for Pikachu in Detective Pikachu in the Japanese one, I could see where they get the Danny DeVito, but also Danny DeVito is also kind of you could dress him as Pikachu and be like, hey.
I mean, no, it's animated, so he's going to be the voice of it.
I know, but I mean, just like you could have him, you could still dress him as Pikachu, like, hey, play with the kids.
That would be creepy. It's like, hey, kids.
This is why I'm not in charge in Hollywood.
Oh, man. Also, can we have a Pokemon movie with Vin Diesel as Mewtwo?
1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 4, 4 game 8444 games dropped $2 and says sandwich.
Awesome. Well, speaking of Pokemon, that's another great segue to our next article. Because now there's been talks about the new Pokemon movies. So Pokemon I Choose You, which came out last year, and it was basically a retelling of the very first episode of the Pokemon anime in which Ash gets his Pikachu for the very first time. And there have been talks about like, oh, what's going to be the next movie about? Because as of right now, we don't have a Pokemon Sun and Moon movie. But I don't think we're going to be getting one anytime soon because the next Pokemon movie that's going to be coming out is actually a retelling of the very first Pokemon movie. So
that was in America called Pokemon the First Movie.
And why is it Mega Man? Go away. I didn't click on you. There you go. So yes, Pokemon the movie Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution is going to be our next Pokemon movie, which will be coming out in 2019. So let me just get rid of this advertisement. There we go. All right.
Mewtwo would strike back against Evolution. I mean, he clearly was created.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so I'll read this one. Today, Pokemon the movie Everyone's Story debuted in Japan. At the very end of the film, next year's release was teased. Pokemon the movie Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution will premiere in 2019. Reports out of Japan says that Masashika Ichimura, the original voice of Mewtwo, has voiceover in the teaser saying, "Who am I? Where am I?" indicating that he's coming back as Mewtwo. As for the logo, it's the image of the first movie with the word evolution in English added in the lower right corner. No further information about Pokemon the movie Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution is known at this time. The teaser has not been published online. So yes, we are getting a remake of the first movie. Similar to how in the last movie we got a retelling of when Ash and Pikachu met for the very first time.
Okay, we got a couple of super chats. Alex N dropped 55 knock saying, "Did you hear about that kid that made that PT clone and Konami shut him down? They gave him an internship afterwards. Much hope for us developers now." That's
really?
Nice.
Huh.
And 123784444 games dropped $2 more saying, "Sandwich, that is all."
Sandwich.
Decker's going to crave sandwiches before this is over with, if he doesn't already.
I definitely desperately need sandwich. Dear God, why didn't I get a sandwich? This guy's constantly giving me $2 saying get a sandwich, and I never get the sandwich. I feel bad now.
Patrick Johnson says, Pokemon weren't meant to reboot. Not like this. Not like this. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. The original dub of the first Pokemon movie hasn't exactly held up very well because of its contradictions of like, Pokemon aren't supposed to fight. Not like this, even though that the point of the franchise is to fight and catch them all.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure that some of you guys who are Pokemon fans already know this, but the 4Kids dub cut a lot of things when translating Mewtwo Strikes Back over to America. First of all, they cut off the original dramatic reading about Mewtwo's backstory, where he was being cloned by Professor Fuji. He was trying to recreate his daughter Ai with DNA. Been doing it for a long time. Around the same time, he was trying to clone Mew because Mew can be able to has access to a whole bunch of DNA. And so around that time, the doctor was able to clone Mewtwo, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, and they were only able to last for 3 years. And Mewtwo was the only one that was able to survive, and then his memory was like wiped off right before I and Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle were completely gone. And that was why he woke up in the beginning of the movie saying, "Where am I? What happened?" And there's the whole movie, if you watch the Japanese version, is focusing on Mewtwo. It's his perspective. But when it was brought over to America, it was told in Ash's perspective. So I think that for the most part, it would be really awesome if they can be able to bring in, go ahead.
Satoshi Katsumoto says, "I like the dub mostly for this line. Brock, I didn't think Vikings were still around. Ash, they mostly live in Minnesota."
I remember that line. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? I mean, I was stupid back then because I remember I didn't even get the joke. It's like Minnesota, they don't have Vikings, and I meant that like literal Vikings. And then somebody told me, it's like, Patricia, they're talking about football, and I'm like, oh.
Oh man.
And Mr. Bone and the Mr. Bone show says there's also a scene where a Pidgeot is called a Pidgeotto. That is true. And also there's a scene when the Pokemon were being cloned. Alakazam was being confused with Scyther. No, Scyther was being confused with Alakazam, and then Nidoqueen was confused with I think it was like Nido, Sand Slash was confused. No, Sandshrew was confused with Sand Slash. So yeah, there's a lot of like screw ups in here and there about that.
Right.
But that's not the main problem with the Pokemon movie. I think it's the presentation and the fact that the dub tried to Americanize it for kids, making it seem like Ash was the main focus when it's actually Mewtwo.
Right, which is kind of
dropped $2 saying 4Kids destroyed Yu-Gi-Oh! English dub.
Actually, if not really, because if you've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions, it's actually the most faithful that you will see of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise, for at least the first one. I haven't seen Yu-Gi-Oh! V Reigns to say anything about it, or actually I haven't seen most of it. But if you're talking about the original, Dark Side of Dimensions, their dub is actually really good. And I just recently saw the Japanese version. And there are some things about the Plana, which is explained a little bit better. They do have a few extra minutes to discuss more about the details of it, but the jokes in that are hilarious in the English dub.
I actually watched Yu-Gi-Oh! In college with my roommate. He got, this was back, before streaming video was really a big thing, like with YouTube and all the other sites where, if you want to watch anime subtitled now, you can just go to one of 100 different websites that have it and tune in there. This, you had to pay money to have VHS tapes and DVDs sent to you that were bootlegged that had really, really bad subtitles in them.
Yes.
So half of the fun of watching was just trying to figure out what the hell the subtitles were talking about. But we got through most of Yu-Gi-Oh! We saw the original 13 episode season 0 series.
My God, you're lucky, man.
Yeah, we actually got to see that. We watched that. We watched I think I remember it was around 2004 or 5. He got the last box set that had the series, and I think he gave me one box set and he forgot to give me the other one, maybe. And I took it home with me and I watched it there. And I got up to we were on the last arc where they go back in time to Japan, to Egypt. And I did not see how that arc ended. And
oh my God, you have to see it, dude. It is amazing.
Satoshi Katsumoto responded. Crap, he knocked him back. Okay, he says, "I reminded of those 'you'll die if you get killed' lines."
Yes,
I'll be right back.
Got a couple of super chats. Goku's on DBZ drops $2. Says, "Long live Little Kurbo Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged."
Kuribo.
Little Kuribo. Okay.
Yeah.
And 123784444 games drops $5 and says, "Decker, I send sandwich because you made a joke saying you need sandwiches. So therefore, I am feeding my favorite YouTuber." Smiley face. "Now I must go. My people need me."
But I watched now Yu-Gi-Oh! Is available on Netflix. And I have actually contemplated watching the entire thing all over again and it's not edited. It hasn't been chopped up. It's the uncensored version. So I'm sorely tempted to go back and watch the entire thing from start to finish.
Oh, God. Dimeblade17 says, "Freddy Krueger, do you think you can turn back time?" And Decker, "Well, I do have a Time Wizard card."
If I could turn back time now.
Oh boy. Oh God, there's that chat. Oh God. Harry Flynn says, "Decker, I have a Time Wizard and a Monster Reborn."
Hooray! Creepy, will you review Yu-Gi-Oh! At some time? Maybe. It's a really long series, you have to admit. There's I think it's longer than the Batman animated series, way longer than that. So
And Random Ass Entertainment Game says, "I'm sorry, I don't have any money to give you guys," and that's fine. It's a live stream. It's a show. It is to entertain. It does a bad job at it, but that's technically what it's for. So you don't need to give money to be entertained. So that's just a thing that, like Alex N here dropping 55 more knock. That just makes it so it's easy for me to notice these things. I have to sleep now. The time difference between Norway and USA is kind of crazy, like 6 hours in some states. Love the format and what you make, heart, heart. Thank you,
Also,
Alex.
Norway, not Nigeria. I got it right this time.
Yes.
Really bad at that.
Oh, Ragon dropped 2,000 Huff, saying Nintendo still isn't making a mainstream Pokemon MMORPG. They would pretty much print infinite money with subscription alone, but hey, Japanese online services suck. Dragon Quest Online is pain. And Technical Wolf says, "Notice me, Decker, I'm desperate." So, hi. Oh god, but yeah, I'm an online MMORPG Pokemon game would be like you'd have the multiplayer aspect in there. It'd be interesting because would the battles be turn-based or real-time? Because in an MMORPG setting, some MMORPGs did do turn-based, like in a sense. Like, wasn't the first Final Fantasy MMORPG kind of turn-based?
Yeah.
And of course, there was Toontown, which I believe was entirely turn-based. But I don't know if people want to talk about Toontown when they want to talk about successful MMORPGs. So it's like, how would a Pokemon MMORPG work? Because you can't really have random battles, though. I mean, you can. Can you not? I don't know. Patricia, design a Pokemon MMORPG now. We will play it.
Okay. Let's start things off with the entire world is opened, like all from Kanto to Alola. You can be able to travel in many ways. You can fly, you can take the boat, you can take the train. You have a character that you can be able to customize any way that you want. You can be able to have any starter that you want from any of the regions, or maybe you can have like a mixture of all of them. You get to travel around, do everything that you can in a Pokemon game. You can go over to the machines and do the slots, over to the Safari Zone, capture anything. You can be able to have multiplayer and play with anybody that you want. You can be able to go into groups of people, and you have other groups of people that you're battling against. You get to have prizes. Maybe even get like different classes of people, like maybe somebody like one is a scientist, maybe one is a lass, one is a bug boy, one is a regular trainer, one could be a gym leader. Be able to like customize anything that you want. So there you go.
Awesome.
I'm gonna be a bug collector.
Cool.
I that's what I tend to do in Pokemon. I really like bug types. Excuse me.
Yes.
I remember I always liked the psychic types for some reason. Like, I didn't limit myself to them, to only capturing those kind, but when I came across a psychic type, I was usually pretty excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too, because in the first generation, they were broken.
Yeah. I mean, there was a reason why, and Mewtwo was considered the most broken of all broken psychic types, but there's a reason why everyone loved psychic types in the beginning.
Yeah, but Parasect could still kick Mewtwo's ass, but that's also because you exploited a little thing that, with a couple of moves you had, that pretty much meant that they couldn't attack you.
Also, real quick, Eric Drelling asks, with all this talk of Pokemon, is there any love for Digimon? Yeah, I love Digimon. Season 3, Digimon Tamers. Damn it, doing it again. Digimon Tamers was my favorite season. But
Ragon dropped 1,000 more huffs, saying real-time Pokemon MMORPG with match-based gameplay. It could work perfectly with current genres, co-op dungeon runs, MOBA PvP, so on.
Mm-hmm.
While we're on the topic of video games, I think we can discuss about what our poll for this week is.
Yes, since there are so many games that are being made into movies, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, Metal Gear Solid, Uncharted, just every kind of game. We thought, hey, what other games that haven't gotten the movie treatment might make nice movies? Now, this is what I think haven't gotten movie treatment. I might be wrong, but this is what we got going on so far. So the Live and Wired poll this time is, what video game would you like to see turned into a movie? The 4 options we came up with: BioShock, God of War,
Ooh, yeah,
The Last of Us, or possibly the ultimate, Candy Crush.
Yes, nice.
And this is on Twitter at Decker Shado. Got 30 minutes starting now.
Okay, 2 things. Goku's on DBZ. If there was no Pokemon, we may not have MatPat. That was a $2 super chat. And there was hold on. Oh yeah, another review where Decker and Creepy get into a strip off. When did we do the first video where we did that?
I don't know about a strip off. We had a hair battle, and you did stripping some. Like, I don't know, you did some dancing, but you were already naked. You didn't strip to dance, did you? I don't know. I'm adding the Twitter poll to the description.
Yeah, and as always, I'm adding it to the chats.
Okay, save changes. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so I guess we can discuss. Let's see what else we can discuss about. Oh yeah, sequels, because everybody loves sequels, don't they? And we have a ton of sequels that are going to be coming out. And I know we'll talk about the Godzilla sequel in a minute, but in the meantime, let's talk about a sequel to a movie that already got a remake. No, wait, no, we're going to talk about a sequel to a movie that from the 80s. Let's do the 80s first. So there was a movie that Tom Cruise was very, very well known for. Yes, Creepy knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, Tom Cruise was known for this particular movie called Top Gun. And now there's been talks about that there's going to be a sequel to Top Gun. So Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise are coming back to doing Top Gun 2.
Oh, just the sheer stink of desperation just from that alone. I am so sorry for not being able to hold it in, but man, oh man. I mean, I don't even know where to start with this. Just the fact that, okay, to begin with, both of these actors are like, over 30 years
says
older.
The only thing they remember is sexy, shirtless, oily volleyball scene.
Yes, I know. I mean, like, are they going to do that again? I mean, is this going to be like men in their 50s patting each other on the ass and going shirtless, oiled up? Is that going to be what's in this movie? I mean, like, Top Gun is so homoerotic that they couldn't show it in theaters in Japan because they thought it was gay porn. They really did.
Michael Wolf says Iron Eagle was much better than Top Gun in their opinion, and right after, Lazaroso82 says, "Where's Iron motherfucking Eagle?"
Yes. I mean, we all know how disastrous that the Mummy movie was and how everybody hated.
Johnson says, if there isn't a cameo from AVGN failing to land the plane, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I mean, I am sorry. I am so sorry. But this whole thing reeks of desperation and just, like,
I'm just thinking, like, he's coming in too hot! And I just see it's James Rolfe in there, and he's like, what a shitload of fuck. Boom!
Boom! Yes, exactly. Like, this is just begging for people to make fun of it. I'm sorry, but it really is. It really, really is.
Lovely. Okay, Creepy, please.
Also, that 80s guy, Dave, was asking, wait, Val Kilmer is still alive? Yeah,
yes,
Val Kilmer is still alive.
Yeah, the last thing that I saw Val Kilmer in was an SNL skit with I think it was Katy Perry and was it I forgot somebody from SNL, but they were doing like this like two best friends skit, and you had Val Kilmer in it as like a hobo, and it was pretty funny. Anyway,
sorry, go on. I know he played Moses in this stage musical performance of the Ten Commandments.
It makes a lot of sense since he was Moses in Prince of Egypt.
Right. It wasn't great, but it was, from the clips I saw, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I don't think it was just like absolutely horrible. It was more just, but like the thing about it is
17 says they haven't even gotten to reading the page yet and already giving the sequel shit, and I love it.
I mean, like, I know what I'm doing. I know, like, you're supposed to see the movie before you give shit like this shit, but still, I mean, Top and 2 30 plus years after the first movie came out, trying to use the exact same actors. Man, they are really hoping that the nostalgia goggles with the audience are on tight. So
Alex N dropped 22 knock saying, "Give James Rolfe a friggin' cameo in this."
Yes, yes. Why not just have him star in the movie? I mean, like, that would increase the quality of the movie so much more. Just imagine James Rolfe, just him being in the movie the whole time, doing nothing but dropping the F-bomb. It's like, Rolfe, drop the bomb. Fucking, not that bomb, the other bomb.
Do we even need to read this?
I don't think so. I think we've covered all.
Okay, I think.
Positive talk just gave to vague news about the project over the last several months. However, the sequence now is officially filming, and the secondly, further outcome is back in the infamous Tom Iceman currency. They have the crews and Kilmer get along with film in the first minute 1986, but the two actors settle the differences. Some brief interview. Chris talking about happy they have Kilmer back for the top one too. Okay, done.
Okay, great, perfect.
Decker was once moonlighting as the FedEx guy.
All right. Well. Okay, so we had to talk about a movie from the 80s. Now let's talk about a movie from the 90s that's getting a sequel. So I'm sure that a lot of you guys know about the anthology movie called Tales from the Hood. So we're getting a sequel from that. And we not only got a trailer, but we also got a release date. So I'll read this one. Universal 1440 Entertainment will be releasing a sequel to the 1995 anthology film Tales from the Hood on Blu-ray, digital, DVD, digital on demand on October 2nd. And with the release date less than 3 months away, a trailer has arrived online with the folks at Bloody Disgusting getting an exclusive first look at it. Despite the 20-plus year gap between films, writer/director Rusty Cundieff, co-writer Darren Scott, and executive producer Spike Lee all returned for Tales from the Hood 2, with Scott co-directing alongside Cundieff this time around. Filling in for Clarence Williams III as anthology host, Mr. Sims is Keith David, who will be presenting 4 horrific stories of lust, greed, pride, and politics through tales with demonic dolls, possessed psychics, vengeful vixens, and historical ghosts. Mr. Sims' haunting stories will make you laugh while you scream. Tales from the Hood 2 is squarely in the tradition of outrageous, entertaining anthology horror, but it also addresses serious issues with a forceful point of view, just as folklore has done throughout history. Some lucky viewers only have to wait a few more days to see Tales from the Hood, as it's set to premiere this Friday, July the 13th, which was last week. So any of you guys who were at this film festival, you actually got to see it. So thank you. So, you Canadians get all the luck. It has probably been 20 years since the last time I saw it, but it's a film that's always stuck with me. I'll have to revisit it soon in preparation for the sequel in October. And this is the trailer right down there if any of you guys are interested. I've never seen Tales from the Hood, so I'm actually curious if you guys have ever seen it.
I have not, but hearing it's an anthology horror kind of thing, you got the several chopped up different horror stories in it. Now I'm actually interested. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. But I've seen a couple of horror movies set up like that, and I haven't seen any that are really great, but they are entertaining. I do enjoy having seen some. It's like you're not sitting there to watch an amazing thing that's going to bring 3 hours of holy crap all together, and it's such an amazing experience. But you're going to be like, oh, that's a bunch of different stories that I just got. Okay,
like the format of it is that there is a mortician who supposedly deals drugs on the side, and 3 drug dealers show up wanting his stash. They're there to buy from him.
Speaking of which, JVR just dropped $20 in Super Chat saying, "Decker, please check your Patreon messages. I sent the requested information."
Okay. The white zone is for unloading and loading of passengers only.
Alex N also dropped 55 more knocks saying, flat out of money now. Keep on keeping on, you guys. I got some tips working my pizza place job, so I guess it's yours now. Well deserved. Good night. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you. Yeah.
We could also just do with a pizza. You don't have to give your money. Just a couple of slices would be amazing. I'm hungry. All that talk of sandwiches. I'm just going to put 2 pizza slices together. It's got bread on both sides. It counts.
I'd rather have the money. I mean, I can make food,
I can't. I am an invalid.
An invalid, yes.
I'm not even going to touch that one. Never mind.
Anyway, yes, Tales from the Hood.
Yeah, that.
When was the last time that we had an anthology series movie? To be quite honest,
It's been a little while, I feel like.
The last one I think I remember watching was, not like that has come out, not the latest one I've seen, but the last one I've watched, I think, was Night Train to Terror.
Mm-hmm. Dance with me, dance with me.
Yes. Okay, well, I guess there's nothing much to say about that. So let's talk about another sequel that's going to be coming out. So, all right. So let's whet your appetite a little bit with all this talk about Gojira.
I thought you were talking about the pizza again.
Oh, no, not the pizza. All right, so we'll get to while whetting your appetite for the Gojira movie, which we'll discuss about. So there's another sequel to a Godzilla movie that just came out. So we did talk a while ago about the animated Godzilla movie on Netflix, which was called Godzilla: Planet of the Monsters. Its sequel. Oh, go ahead.
I got another super chat, $2 from 123784444 games, saying, Decker, can I make a vid of every sandwich moment? And I'm thinking he means like every time I'm sitting here like, I really am hungry. There's every single thing that has to do with sandwich. And yeah, knock yourself out with a sandwich if possible.
Yes. Do a YouTube video discussing about every sandwich ever made. Yes, so
Robbie the Wolfie says asterisk is eating chicken, rice, and corn on the cob with butter and Parmesan cheese.
Parmesan cheese.
Damn,
delicious.
Now I'm hungry.
Fat32 says sandwich. Okay, so Godzilla.
Yes, Godzilla. So, Godzilla Planet of the Monsters was an animated CGI movie based off of Godzilla that we discussed about a long time ago in Live and Wired. So now the sequel is out, called Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle. So let's see if we can.
Does a city be smaller than a planet?
I don't know. So let's see. In City of the Edge of Battle, directed by Kunbun Shizuno and Hiroyuki Shishida, rising from the depths of the planet is a new breed of monster dubbed Godzilla Earth. Evolving for 20,000 years, that creature stands 300 meters high, weighing over 100,000 tons, and wields such overwhelmingly destructive power that Haruo and company have no choice but to run for their lives. And for those who are wondering, Haruo is the main protagonist in this movie. Coming to Haruo's rescue, however, is Miana, a member of an aboriginal tribe called the Hotua. They are the first humanoid people the returnees have encountered. Could they descend from humans? ? Our tribal god was destroyed by God. I don't know.
I get down to the real questions.
Our tribal god was destroyed
Japanese, by all things, just most likely.
To seek out new life and new civilizations and find out whether or not Decker can have sex with it.
Tribal God was destroyed by Godzilla. All we have left are these eggs. Anyone who has tried to fight or resist him has been drowned in fire. This is our last hope of recovering our home. Meanwhile, Bilu Saludo, Commander Galugu, elated to discover that Hautua's tribe arrowheads have been made out of a nanometal or a self-sustaining metal. Has been developed in the 21st century as an anti-Godzilla killer weapon deployed as their decisive battle at the foot of Mount Fuji, but has been destroyed before it can be activated in the form of a Mechagodzilla. The nanometal was its base substance and proved that the manufacturing plants can still be used. And the third and final installment of the series will arrive in Japan in November 2018. So yeah, I still have not seen the first movie, even though we did talk about it a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I did, but I was really tired, and it was just playing on Netflix or something. I don't know.
It was
my fiance puts movies on sometimes, and I'm just like, I'm tired. It's 4 a.m. I need slippers, and so there's a Godzilla going on, and there was like, it's the biggest Godzilla ever, and there's. It was big, but it's kind of most of what it did was stand there. Like, hi, I'm Godzilla. It was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm destructive. I'm like, what are you gonna break? There's just forest here and shit. I'm gonna take one step. Oh, don't do that!
Jason Schwab says, "Hey, creepy! I sent an email to Bandai Japan recently, asked them to finally do SH Monstars figures based on the many forms of Mothra Leo. They did respond, thanking me for the suggestions. Awesome."
Very awesome. And I guess while we're on the subject of Godzilla, because everybody has been talking about it on the chat like freaking crazy, I guess now we can talk about Godzilla King of the Monsters, which has been recently showcased a trailer over in San Diego Comic-Con. So,
hooray!
Yes, hooray! Now we can finally talk about the thing that everybody wants us to talk about, because it's a great segue. So, okay, Decker, you get to read this one.
Alrighty. About 5 years have passed in Godzilla King of the Monsters, out May 31st, 2019, since the events depicted in 2014's Godzilla, which isn't nearly enough time for people to stop freaking out about the discovery that they share the planet with a gargantuan lizard. The world is reacting to Godzilla in the same way we would react to any other terrifying incident, in that we are overreacting. How do you overreact to Godzilla? Like, at what point are they going to say, "Hey, it's just a Godzilla. Just calm down"?
Yeah, somebody's ordering food and they're like, "Hey, I'm over at Chipotle. What do you want?" Oh, what's that overreacting in the background? Oh, that's just Godzilla.
Whose previous credits include the horror movie Krampus. Godzilla hasn't been seen since the destructive finale, but there's paranoia and endless speculation about whether he is the only one out there, or whether they're threatened by others like his kind. King of the Monsters makes it enormously clear that there are other big beasts, notably the three-headed King Ghidorah, the giant insect Mothra, and another flying monster, Rodan, who in the original Japanese movies could create hurricane force winds. But has been kind of a sidekick character, but I've always had a soft spot for him, says Doherty. In a lot of ways, he's more powerful than Godzilla. He's like this winged A-bomb. I think we've done him justice. But let's not forget Godzilla himself, who reveals he has the ability to exhale atomic breath. Can Doherty expand on that description? Not without giving away too much. He laughs, but it takes place at a very key moment, and it's sort of a call to arms. Characters include, cast includes, okay. Yeah. So that looks...
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are going to be involved in this movie. And as mentioned...
first look footage at such and such?
Yeah. The exclusive footage, which by the way is up there, sponsored by a soda, which we're not going to do. But there's an exclusive picture right over there that was shown on Entertainment Weekly of Godzilla showcasing its atomic fire breath. But yeah, there is a trailer for it, if any of you guys are interested in checking it out. I think there's a trailer for it, or yeah, there's a trailer for it. And there's some pictures of it as well, which there's another picture of it right there. Can I click this picture for more? No, I cannot. So yeah, I don't think there's any more from what I see. So yeah, just those couple of pictures so far. So yeah, I did take a peek of the trailer, and it looks pretty awesome, actually. So I'm just
Alex N dropped 55 more knock, saying, "By the way, we, Norway, want to see a movie that you make, like James Rolfe did. I feel like tipping amount that might trickle its way towards something big."
What would a Decker Shado? Well, am I in this one, or is it just like strictly Decker Shado? Like, is he the only one allowed to be there?
Well, am I the only character in the movie? Welcome to the Decker Shado movie. It's 3 hours of me sitting on the couch complaining.
Yeah, which is what you do anyway. So I mean, even when you're not reviewing anything, that's what you do. So
I mean, we had this idea. Gamerathon 3 was supposed to be so much more. There was supposed to be a little kind of story that connects through a bunch of little skits that work together that we were supposed to space out. But my planning sucks, and I failed. But we made the best of a bad situation. But yeah, so
he did.
I could have been worse. It's like Kenji Inafune. At least it's something.
Yeah, better than nothing.
King Cold says, dropped $2 and said, King Ghidorah looks huge. That is Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's a giant three-headed.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's how it's supposed to go. Yeah, but yeah, huge King Ghidorah. That works.
Mhm.
But yeah, a Decker Shadow movie starring Decker Shadow, Creepy, and Patricia.
I feel like the thing to do would be to have some kind of the easiest, possibly clichéest thing to do would be a sort of road trip mini adventure thing. Like, there's a reason why it's such a go-to is because when you have someone who doesn't really have I don't go on adventures. I'd need an adventure to go on, and a road trip is the easiest adventure to have.
Yeah.
So it's to have some reason to do some road trip and then have some sort of overarching kind of thing. That's the easiest thing coming in my mind.
Yeah, that's true. But who knows? I mean, in the meantime, there could be a lot of possibilities of what a Decker Shadow movie could be like. Maybe like the opening title sequence, it could be a chainsaw like slicing in pieces, and then Decker's logo can be like flashing with blood dripping all over.
Dime Blade 17 drops $2 and says, "How do you think USA would do a Gamera movie?" Badly. I think it would involve Michael Bay, and then I'm out. I'm bye. No.
Please don't give him any ideas. Please do not give him any ideas.
Right.
He's doing the Dora the Explorer movie, so if he wants to go back doing monster
Guy
movie,
Dave asks, "What's something that you all three have in common that you could road trip for?"
oh, that's a very good question.
We're on our way to a convention.
Yes, there we go. That's one thing that we can have in common.
I mean, like, just that's just the first thing that popped in my head. Like, we
actually are all on trying to get to that. Creepy. You're just trying to just say, okay, we're gonna film it.
No, I mean, like, think about it. We all get invites to go to a convention that we've never heard of before. Like, this is supposed to be like a really big deal, but we've never heard of it. But we all figure, hey, we're special guests. We'll, get hotel accommodations. We'll get food, and we'll spend a weekend, on vacation. That sounds nice. We get there, the convention is deserted, and it's inhabited by like ghosts or zombies or zombie ghosts, and we have.
I thought this was a National Lampoon's Vacation for a second, but it suddenly went to Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. No, actually, I was thinking more like, what was that Dawn of the Dead movie that took place in a mall?
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, Dawn of the Okay, yeah, okay, that works. Yeah, like basically, it goes from National Lampoon to Dawn of the Dead.
Okay, sure. Speaking of zombies, that's another great segue. We can talk about our next movie that's going to be coming out.
Also, as we all know, Patricia will be the most powerful character in the entire movie.
Oh, I don't know about that, but thank you. I really do appreciate it. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So let me just click on that. Okay, so we did talk about how, J.J. Abrams was going to be involved in the next Star Wars movie. Well, he's going to be involved in something else. Recent trailer have come out for a movie called Overlord. It is essentially Call of Duty Nazi Zombies, the movie. I'm not even joking. It takes place in World War II, and they're fighting Nazi zombies. Watch the trailer. It is glorious.
The Nazis just die. Okay, Alex N dropped 109 more knocks saying you went to Hollywood. They came to help you out with interviews and something went completely wrong. And the guest stars were actually the people they portray in the movies.
Oh, wow. That would be interesting. That'd be interesting.
Decker stars in a movie as himself as he's won a walk-on role in Killer Clowns 2 and Patricia and Creepy.
I would love to be in Killer Clowns too, but that's just me. Anyway, Nazi zombies.
Yes.
Nazi zombies, yes.
Nazi zombies. We've been hearing for ages about Overlord, Bad Robot's latest J.J. Abrams connected movie about zombie-like creatures at the height of World War II. But now we finally have a look at its scare-filled take on what is already the deadliest conflict in human history. Directed by Julius Avery, Overlord follows a group of U.S. paratroopers on the eve of the D-Day landings.
Oh, God.
They find themselves behind occupied...
Rygon said, "A Day in the Life of Decker Shadow, a romantic comedy directed by Michael Bay." Sorry. Go back to the Nazi zombies.
Come on, Nazi zombies. Okay, as they find themselves being occupied, enemy lines attempted to liberate a small French village. However, the squad quickly finds out that the Nazi forces stationed there have been experimenting on horrific projects to make a new breed of immortal soldiers in service of the Reich. Again, Call of Duty Nazi zombies.
Actually, I was thinking more Resident Evil. You know, the whole making undead soldiers, remote location. This kind of reminds me more of Resident Evil than anything else.
Well, Resident Evil didn't take place in World War II.
Yeah, that's fair.
And also, if you ever played, if you ever explored the area, if you ever played any of the games of Nazi zombies that do involve with the story, there are talks about experimentations with the Nazi doctors trying to bring back soldiers to life. Anyway, so for a movie that was once feverishly linked to the sprawling mess of the weirdness that is the Cloverfield franchise, Abrams recorded a message for press at CinemaCon this year, vehemently denying any links between Overlord and Cloverfield. But hey, J.J. Abrams wouldn't do that, would he? At first, Overlord doesn't seem that weird. I mean, it's not as weird as a movie about Nazi quasi-zombies could be. In fact, it does kind of look like a live-action take on the Call of Duty mode. That's what I just said. So, it's going to hit theaters on November 9th in the U.S. So, yes, I mean, that's actually crazy. It's literally Nazi Zombies, the movie, except that it doesn't have anything to do with Call of Duty.
Okay, so now I got a new idea for the Decker Shadow movie. We're going to fight Nazi zombies.
Nice. Love it.
Also, Decker
Hybrid Theory says, Decker, just say hi. I need to go to bed. Hi, Hybrid Theory. Sleep well. Sleep very well.
Have a good night.
Yes. Also, Decker and Creepy in A Review to a Kill, coming summer 2019 to a theater near you.
Phantom Planet says no one's going to watch it. And can they be the final boss? Okay, about my movie or that movie? About the Nazi zombie. Which Nazi zombie movie? The one I'm making or the one that No Name Abrams is putting together? I'm going to sell more tickets. And Lazarus Soul 82 dropped $10. Says, Decker, have you seen My Demon Lover? If anything deserves a remake, it's that by Del Toro. Oh, God. As the hashtag MeToo movie would love it, the main dude turns into a demon when he gets horny. I think I remember seeing that.
Is that a movie or a Japanese hentai?
No, I think it's it's semi-horror, but
no, seriously, that sounds like the plot of a hentai.
I think that there is actually multiple demons, and the one guy, he doesn't quite remember what happens when he turns into the demon, and there's a killer going around, and you don't know if he's the killer, but he's actually not. He's the nice guy, but I don't know. But Alex N dropped 55 more knocks saying, if you ever make that movie, I want to be in the credits. Now, we've talked about a whole bunch of different movies to make, so
Oh boy!
Don't give John Ratsey says don't give Decker any ideas about hentai movies. Creepy. Not enough. And the Mad Groper says not enough tentacles. Creepy. Oh, okay. Well, if it doesn't have tentacles in it, then it's not a hentai. We all know that's true.
Satoshi Katsumoto says the ending has Decker kicking zombie Hitler in the nuts and killing him with a chainsaw while saying "motherfucking chainsaw."
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for everybody who's been giving us ideas for the Decker Shadow movie. Stay tuned next week as we'll probably put a Kickstarter together.
Okay.
In the meantime,
risks and challenges. There's a pretty high chance this is actually a scam. We got to put that in one of our Kickstarters or something. We got it.
Yeah, we do have to at this point. All right. I guess, with talks about killer clowns from outer space, you did bring that up just briefly. I used to live in Florida. Some of you guys may already know that. And every year in Universal Studios around October, they do Halloween Horror Nights, in which they feature a theme based off of a movie or a TV show. They've done everything from The Walking Dead. They've done zombies. They've done a whole bunch of things. So this year is actually going to be a really interesting one because in honor of the 30th anniversary of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, they will have a Killer Clown Scare Zone in addition to Chucky as well, I guess in honor of the remake that's coming out. So wasn't had a chance to read yet.
123784444 games drops $2 more and says, Decker, I must be under sandwich in the credits.
Since everybody knows how I feel about a certain horror character, I guess I'm going to be stuck with this one.
Sure, go ahead.
Yay.
Chucky and Killer Clowns will be in the streets of Halloween Horror Nights this year. Universal Studios has announced the last of its 2 5 scare zones for the 2018 edition of the Fright Fest, which is taking on quite the 80s hair. In the Revenge of Chucky Scare Zone, the HHNers will encounter a toy fair turned to lethal, filled with diabolical twists on childhood toys from the past. Universal announced Thursday. Also, watch out from Murderous Monkeys, a deadly board game, and the chance to be face-to-face with the world's deadliest doll. Decker, the monkeys are back.
Monkeys.
For the Killer Clowns Renner Space Zone, visitors will try to escape the Killer Clowns or face the wrath of their ray guns, which will turn them into grotesque cotton candy snacks, Universal News release says. I knew I smelled something. The previously announced Scare Zones, Vamp 85, New Year's Eve, Twisted Traditions, and The Harvest are original to Universal.
Yeah, they usually have like original scare zones that have like a particular theme, not based off of a movie. So yeah, if any of you guys are going to be in the Orlando area around Halloween Horror Nights, which is usually around like September, October, depending on when they want to do it, then yeah, you have a chance to check out these scare zones of Chucky and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So maybe that's another trip that you have to go to, Decker.
Dang it. I don't have a... Yeah, well, now... hopefully. Got that 100,000. Got that 100,000. Everyone says it's a switch that flips and everything does really well right past that. It hasn't happened yet, but maybe it will. Everyone says it does.
Yes. All right. We finally have the polls completed. Our 30 minutes is up.
Excellent.
So let's take a look at what the results are. So let me just pull that up real quick.
Okay, we got 75 votes.
Yeah, 75 votes. So 36% says BioShock, 24% says God of War, 29% says The Last of Us, and 11% says Candy Crush. So our winner for this week is BioShock.
I am disappointed that Candy Crush did not get more support.
Yeah, I mean, if Tetris could have a trilogy, Candy Crush deserves to have a cinematic universe.
Oh man, I am still not over that.
Got a couple of comments on the tweet saying, one from Cal saying, I feel like The Last of Us is the one could transfer over the best. Poster Boy for Duality says, as much as I'd love to see a God of War movie, it would probably end up like a dumpster fire like God of Egypt. The Last of Us would probably end up being the best movie of the bunch. Blame Josh Gaming says Dead Space and God of War. And New Fate 26 says StarCraft!
But yeah, like Tetris getting a freaking trilogy, not just a movie, a trilogy. Oh man.
I know. Why?
Yeah.
Just why?
Decker and Creepy, if you ever managed to be around Maryland, you should stop by Frederick's and eat at Roy Rogers. Only 13 states left with this fast food chain, but a rather good one, I might add. Interesting to know.
Cool.
I remember Roy Rogers when I was like small. When I was in Pennsylvania, I think I remember Roy Rogers.
Yeah, I think when I was living in Philadelphia, I think I remember hearing that too. I've never been to there, but I did hear about it. All right.
JVR is asking if I've applied for the YouTube 100,000 subscribers award, and I have not received my notification yet that I'm allowed to. I'm supposed to get that notification next month, maybe. I hope.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean, even as mentioned in the in an earlier episode of Live Noir, maybe he won't even get it at all.
Yeah, there's also the thing they say if you're not in good standing, you're not going to get the notification. And I'm for some reason, right after hitting 100,000, a shitload of copyright claims came in all at once. So That's been fun.
All right, so I guess we can dip our toe into the stuff that's been covered at San Diego Comic-Con. So, Creepy, let's talk about Steven Universe.
Woo!
So yes, Steven Universe the movie has been teased today. So the finale of Steven Universe's Heart of Crystal Gems arc saw an epic battle, a beautiful wedding, and we don't use this phrase lightly, all the feels. But where would the show go from there? All fans anticipate the reveal of the legendary White Diamond. What they got more was unexpected. A movie announcement. Steven Universe The Movie is coming to Cartoon Network. Series creator Rebecca Sugar revealed at her San Diego Comic-Con panel Zach Callison, Estelle, Michelle Dietz, Shelby Rabara, and Dee Dee Mango Hall joined for her announcement. But few other details were revealed. What we did get was a teaser above that we'll be scrutinizing for weeks. The footage shows a heart crystal spinning in an ominous fashion, showing the main trio of the... Ominous, thank you. Showing the trio of Gems and Steven. And then there's a more nefarious presence hidden in the shadows, begging for Reddit to debate until the release date. Cartoon Network did not reveal a date for Steven Universe the movie, so be patient and savor this clip. So yeah, the last time that Cartoon Network had a movie based off of a show that came out recently was Regular Show, and it did have a limited screening over in California. And there's been talks about an Adventure Time movie for years, but nothing new has come out of it, even at the point in which it's the last season going on so far. So
Dark Necrosis says, now I need to go to Roy Rogers. I wish they bring back Hardee's near me. And I'm thinking, is Hardee's the same thing as Carl's Jr.? Is it just they call it that in different places? And all I can think is, I'm hungry. Sandwich! So is that stuff about Steven Universe? Isn't he the one with the picture with he got the hot dog? God damn, I'm hungry.
Not in this season. That whole thing is way past now.
Yeah. And then there was this actually came through. I found this out this afternoon, and all the guys were like there was some hot debate for a hot minute. Does this mean the show is over? Does this mean the show is being canceled? And then pointed out, there's this sort of ambiguous antagonist in the trailer, though. And so they're like, oh, okay, well, then that means that the show is continuing. It just means this is going to be like a midway point, or the movie is going to tie into the show maybe, but it's not going to be the finale of it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Usually, it's very rare that Cartoon Network would do a movie based off of their TV shows, considering that the Powerpuff Girls movie did not do well in the theaters, and then the next time we would have it was actually the Regular Show. And, then now we're going to have Steven Universe, which makes a lot of sense because it's now their biggest show on Cartoon Network.
Oh, God, half of the chat is about roast beef sandwiches and the difference between Hardee's and Carl's Jr.
Wow.
Alex N dropped 55 knock. Last of what I can give. Paying for school, but again, I love hearing the news and watching the reviews. Here's for a sandwich. Good night.
Sandwich.
You see, the thing is, Decker won't get this money until the end of the month, and even if he got it tonight, he lives out in the boonies, so there's probably not a sandwich shop within walking distance.
No, there isn't, but I hopefully will get my license soon. I got the car. I've been driving it. But I also...
Decker's been breaking the law.
Oh, no.
In the boondocks. No one cares. But we went to the store today as well. That's another thing I did, as well as film most of the Halloween 3 review, is I went shopping for food. And I haven't eaten yet, though.
Oh, Harry Flynn says, what about the Ed, Ed and Eddie movie? Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I've never... Yeah, I know that was supposed to be like a series finale that was supposed to conclude the series, and it took a few years for it to come out. So, okay, fair enough. I was talking about movies that came out in theaters because, like I said before... Powerpuff Girls, the movie, came out in theaters, and Regular Show had a limited screening in California. So I guess I was talking about theatrical movies, not TV movies.
Oh,
and
right.
I guess
I'm gonna order out real fast.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 4, 4, 4 games drops $2 more saying sandwich. I have made it your new thing here, and yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it a theme. Just my God. Sandwich.
Also, cues up Judas Priest breaking the law for Decker Shadow. That was actually what I was thinking of when I said breaking Decker Shadow is breaking the law. So, thank you. The Nestine 100. That was who said that. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Let's discuss about our next thing.
Yes. So many things.
Yes, a lot of things. Seriously, a lot of things. Thank you, San Diego Comic-Con. All right, so let's talk about our next movie that was featured in San Diego Comic-Con. New information about It, Chapter 2. We have the rest of the cast that has been featured and a date that's going to be, as far as we know, the premiere of the movie. Mm-hmm. So the sequel to the highest-grossing horror movie of all time just got one step closer to its release. At Wednesday night's Scare Diego event, held a half mile from where San Diego Comic-Con commences Thursday, New Line Cinema showed an early behind-the-scenes look at It, Chapter 2. The film is based off of the second part of Stephen King's best-selling 1986 novel in which an evil clown Pennywise preys on Derry, Maine once every 27 years. It Chapter 2 will introduce audiences to the Ragtag Losers Club as grown friends who have lost touch and are pushing 40. We have Jaden Lieberher, Wyatt Olaf, Sophia Lillis, Finn Wolfhard, Jeremy Ray Taylor, Chosen Jacobs, and Jack Dylan Grazer will reprise their roles with James McAvoy, Andy Bean, Jessica Chastain, Bill Hader, Isaiah Mustafa, Jay Ryan, and James Ransone playing their adult counterparts. Among the new additions are two veterans from this year's Best Picture Oscar winner, The Shape of Water production designer Paul D. Osterberry and costume designer Luis Seguirra. Director Andy Muschietti sent a taped dispatch from the Toronto set where his cast and crew has been in production since July 2nd. The footage showed him peering over storyboards of various fanged monsters and inspecting bloody costumes. Film snippets include an older Bill crying a single tear, Chastain's Beverly on a cell phone and inside Pennywise's sewer tunnels, and there's a Losers Club reuniting in a Chinese restaurant with a large aquarium. Richie bangs a gun and asks, so what do you want to talk about? Screenwriter Gary Doberman was at Scare Diego with a contingent from The Nun, which he also wrote. It made $700 million worldwide last year, becoming the top-earning King adaptation to date, and it will release the sequel on September 6, 2019.
You know what this means, don't you?
What?
It means we got another 55 Knox super chat from Alex M saying, damn it, here's for Creepy to bring Zecker his damn sandwich already.
Why do I have to bring it? Well, okay, you paid 55 knock for it. So, also, the Mad Groper said Creepy will just bring him his footlong.
Oh, no.
But you know what I was going to say is, this means spiders. Does this mean I have to sing the main song, though?
Sure.
Again? Like, okay, all right. The story set in Maine, of course, there's nowhere else to live. With the writer, the alcoholic too, the adulterer and his whore, some dumb rednecks, a disappointing resolution here in Stephen King's Maine. Actually, that song makes a good point. Since this is part 2 and the official resolution of the whole It story, can we expect a disappointing resolution?
Yeah, Cthulhu Chow dropped $5 and says, if you've read the book, you'll understand that there will never be a perfect film version.
Yeah.
Milo W says, Decker, with you being in your 30s, this makes me feel better about not getting my license and first car till 26. You can do it, bro! Thank you.
All right. Now let's discuss about the next thing that was featured in Comic-Con. More information about the Predator movie. So I know that there was talks about all the pictures shown in Predator, but here's one that you probably would have never expected to be featured in a Predator movie, besides the little kid.
123784444 Games drops $2 and says, it must happen. Live and Wired, episode 17. Sandwiches.
I'm actually tempted to vote for that, to say, yeah, sandwiches. Just sandwiches. Yeah, Live and Wired, episode 17, sandwiches. Oh, Satoshi Katsumoto says, I'd pay to see a sitcom with that song. I know that they're doing a Castle Rock sitcom, which is sort of like a pastiche of different Stephen King characters and whatnot. So I don't know. Maybe I should just upload a video where I'm singing that song and shows clips from that. Anyway, Predator.
Yes, Predator.
Yeah.
So yes, the Predator will introduce female predators, which actually was pretty shocking when I first saw this. It's like, what? Because I mean, I assumed that, because Alien featured the Queen Alien, I was like, okay, so they have like different, sexes with the aliens, but I guess I didn't think about like with Predator. So okay, cool. We get to see female predators in the next Predator movie. So why don't you read this one, Decker? It's a short one.
Yeah, this is the Predator thing. So
20th Century Fox today revealed that female predators will appear in director Shane Black's upcoming movie, The Predator. The news was revealed today via clips screened exclusively at the 20th Century Fox The Predator panel at Comic-Con International San Diego. According to live coverage of the panel, CBR, one of the clips screened featured Olivia Munn's character. Yay. Dr. Casey Brackett about to be attacked by a female predator in sleek technical armor. Okay, so I guess they're going for sexy female predators. When a larger predator attacks one of the aliens, distracting the female predator. Yeah, they're going for the sexy female predator. That answers that question I had. The larger predator is a mega predator, the result of genetic tampering with the alien society. The introduction of female predators to the film franchise is a first. Though the novelizations and comics have explored gender dynamics between the alien big game hunters before, the novel Alien vs. Predator Prey established that female predators are considered equals in the alien society, and they can best their male counterparts in combat when necessary, and they don't need no man. Aliens vs. Predator Deadliest of the Species introduced Big Mama, a female predator who is frequently depicted as nearly visually indistinguishable from male predators. Debuting in theaters on September 14th, The Predator is directed by Shane Black and stars Lloyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Jacob Tremblay, Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Sterling K. Brown, Thomas Jane, and Alfie Allen.
Yes. So female predators, yes.
So, actually, Decker gave me a brief description of this earlier today, and he told me that in the novels, I'm sorry for anyone who's upset, by the way. I keep moving my camera. My laptop is resting on my knees, and it gets very hot. So I have to lift it up and let a breeze wave under there. But boy, that sounded less weird in my head. Anyway, he told me earlier, Decker did, about how in the novels, the female predators were actually larger and more aggressive than the male.
It was like there's in the novels and comics, the predators female is very rarely depicted, and when it is, they've gone the whole gambit in how they're depicted. Are they pretty much smaller and sexy like human women, or are they like Big Mama, pretty much the same, or are they larger and more aggressive, which is another version that they've shown quite extensively.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so more information about this Predator movie that will be coming out in 2 months. Or actually about a month and a half from now. That's awesome.
Chief Joseph says he would bang a female predator if she left her mask on. But how are you going to kiss?
I feel like that. I mean, I'm not against kissing a female predator, but I feel like that would have some complications.
A little that kind of thing.
Fuck face.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Patricia, I'll behave.
Creepy, go to your room. I'm kidding. You're fine. You're fine. All right, let's discuss about the next one.
Dark Necrosis says always thought they should have had a Predator movie set during the Iraq War, and that would have been interesting.
Interesting. Okay, where were we? Oh my god, I'm sorry. Okay, next one. Let's see. I got one. Okay, so a trailer for an upcoming movie that I think we did discuss about before, but now the trailer is out. So let's talk about the trailer for M. Night Shyamalan's next movie, which is called Glass. So Glass is actually going to be a sequel to 2 movies. It's going to be a sequel to Split, a movie that he did in 2016, and Unbreakable, a movie that he did back in, I think it was like 2000. That's what it was. Yeah, 2000. Oh. So yes, that's interesting. I've never heard of a movie that was a sequel to 2 different movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe I have somewhere, but it's been a while. Universal Pictures has released a Glass teaser trailer for the highly anticipated new film from filmmaker M. Night Shyamalan. The thriller is a follow-up to both Shyamalan's 2000 film Unbreakable and his 2016 film Split, which in its final moments was revealed to be taking place in the same universe as Unbreakable. Glass finds Bruce Willis reprising his role as David Dunn, who is now on the hunt for the superhuman figure of the Beast, James McAvoy, and a series of escalating encounters. Meanwhile, Samuel L. Jackson's villainous Elijah Price hasn't gone anywhere and still holds secrets crucial to the outcome of this intense showdown. The teaser trailer is kind of a cruel tease as it doesn't really offer any footage. Well, that's what a teaser trailer is. But instead relies on a few pieces of dialogue and some curious visual to entice fans. We don't have to wait long, as a full trailer is to be revealed at Comic-Con, which it has already. For now, check out the teaser trailer below, and the movie will be coming out in 2019. And it does give some more information about like the production of Glass. So yeah. Now I'm actually curious. Have any of you guys ever seen Unbreakable or Split yet?
I saw Unbreakable.
I have seen Unbreakable too.
Unbreakable was actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it was actually.
So
it's actually funny because my sister and I, like about last year, we saw The Sixth Sense. My sister has never seen it, but she knew about the twist ending. Mm-hmm. And when we were watching it, and she was like she was underwhelmed, saying like, why is this movie so popular? And then I told her it's the plot twist that made it very popular. And then she said, well, if I didn't know about the plot, besides the plot twist, this movie is not really that special. And I'm like, okay, that's fair enough. I mean, if you know about the plot twist, the movie, you already knew what was going on, so that's fair. Right. So yeah, Unbreakable was actually a really interesting movie, a very interesting take on superheroes and supervillains.
Yes.
So I'm actually really curious to see what their take is going to be on it, since superheroes have become much more in the mainstream nowadays.
Pete Line says Shyamalan's got a new movie based on his previous work called Suck.
But yeah, like the thing about it is that Unbreakable was deconstructing the whole idea of superheroes before superhero movies got to be super popular, right. Which it almost makes it feel like it was a movie that was ahead of its time in a lot of ways.
Yeah, like, definitely.
Unbreakable is a movie that actually has more relevance as a film now than it did when it was first released almost 20 years ago because of the volume of superhero movies that are out now.
Yeah, and there was a lot of hype for Shyamalan to create another masterpiece because Sixth Sense was such a massive hit.
Yeah, I think that might have actually worked against him because Sixth Sense came out and it instantly made Shyamalan a star. And the twist is what he became famous in the movie, is what he became famous for. And it became to be what people expected from him. Yeah. So he kept trying to recapture that. And all of his attempts following that really were not, when you think about it, really think about it, I feel like your friend, your niece, was it?
My sister.
Your sister. Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies.
No, it's okay. My niece would have been too young to see it anyway. She's like 10.
Okay, understood. But your sister was watching The Sixth Sense, and she says, if you know about the twist, there's nothing special about the movie. And I feel like that sums up The Sixth Sense. I mean, it's not that the movie itself is bad, but if you know what the twist is at the end, what else is there to the movie?
Exactly, which is it's very exactly. I mean, it's like in 50 First Dates, in which Drew Barrymore's character has the amnesia that she is not able to remember, suppress memory, that's going on in before the accident, and so she's never seen The Sixth Sense, and her father and brother have seen it so many times that they're just like so bored with it because they already knew about the plot twist and she doesn't know about it. So yeah, it's oh boy.
Yeah. So I mean, like, if you know what's coming in The Sixth Sense, then people have that reaction now. Why watch it? I already know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those movies that you only need to watch once, and that's pretty much it. Which it's not a really good movie for for pre-playability. more like, you know, a movie that has like really interesting nuances or twist endings or ambiguous endings that people can talk about for years to come, like Inception.
Exactly. I mean, like, I'm not knocking the acting in it or anything like that. You know, the acting in the movie is fine. You know, it's just that when you get through the movie and you see the plot and you know what happens at the end of it, there's no need to watch the movie over again because you already know. And I kind of felt like people were making a bigger deal out of this movie than I really warranted it, because the twist was cool, but again, once you know that, then what else is there? And it kind of worked against Shyamalan in the end. If you watch all the movies that he made after that one, the twist is, you know, the whole thing where he kept trying to recapture, you know, the Sixth Sense. And I've been fighting tooth and nail to not make this joke, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Maybe you should have just gone back to farming ideas from Are You Afraid of the Dark? Because that's where the idea for The Sixth Sense came from.
At least what the rumor is stating. It hasn't been 100% confirmed if that's where he got it from. The particular episode, if you're wondering what the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode is, it's called The Tale of the Dream Girl. I'm not going to say anything about it. So just watch it.
Yeah, actually, I do recommend that people watch that episode because it is one of the better Are You Afraid of the Dark episodes. I'm sorry, Decker, were you going to say something?
Now, since you know the twist in that episode, what about that episode works better seeing it, I guess, maybe? If considering you already know the twist, and you're still saying you should see it is good, really good. What about it that doesn't work out in the rest of M. Night Shyamalan's everything's building towards this twist? Because like you're saying, certain things give a little ambiguity. You give it a little room for discussion. You can spend some time wondering, when did this twist happen? Is this all-encompassing? Is it not? Did it just happen a little bit here? Did it really happen at all? With certain movies and certain aspects, I don't know. I just saw there was a lot of. I just watched Halloween 3, and I spent a lot of time thinking about that. And there's a lot of shit that twists around in that, but not all of it is fully explained.
That's a good. I would say there are two things working in the Are You Afraid of the Dark episode that are not in the Sixth Sense movie. One, there is a tiny, tiny little bit of ambiguity to the tale of the Dream Girl. And the second thing that works to its advantage is, okay, I'm going to say three things. One,
go ahead.
The ambiguity. Two, the time limit. The episode is much shorter and it gets to the point faster. There's a lot less of these long scenes where it's just kind of conversational pieces. I mean, the episode has that, but it's working within a 30-minute time block frame plus commercials, so it has to get to the point faster. And three, I would argue that what works in the case of the Tale of the Dream Girl is there's an element of tragedy to that episode.
It's very sad
because of who the characters are. The characters are all teenagers, or the characters are all underage.
Yeah.
So when you find out what the twist is at the end, it has a little bit more of a punch to it. I mean, I'm not knocking that that the character's death in The Sixth Sense is, like not sad or anything, but the fact that these were in the episode, these are all kids and, well, not just coming right out and saying it, but, the way the episode leads up to, that adds a depth to the tragedy that isn't in
it also really pieces itself really nicely. There's a bit of a mystery to it, like an object that was found in the kid's locker that he can't take out. The mood of everybody that he knew is very depressing, and he doesn't have any idea about it. He feels like there's something wrong with him, and he can't exactly pinpoint it.
Yes.
And then when you find out about the twist is actually when things start to make sense, and it, unlike The Sixth Sense, it actually ends in a very bittersweet yet kind of satisfying note.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I would argue that the episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark did things better, which is fairly ironic considering how some people love making fun of that show for, how some of the I will admit some of the acting on that show is not top notch and some of the writing is not always top notch. But when Are You Afraid of the Dark was on point, it was really good. But
yeah, it is actually, and I can't wait for the movie to come out.
Speaking of, since we're already on the subject of Are You Afraid of the Dark and the movie, the trailer for Goosebumps 2 has been revealed. So, Patricia, why don't you do the honors?
Of course, I will do the honors. I haven't really seen the first Goosebumps movie, but from what I've been hearing so far, it's like basically just from what I've heard, it's basically like satirizing the 90s, which that's not what I think about what Goosebumps is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes.
I'm a confused bumps.
Confused bumps.
Gummy bears attack in Goosebumps 2.
There's his product placement.
Hey, see, I'm getting a soda.
All right, go ahead, get a soda.
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, Creepy. Read this one. It's not that long.
Okay. Killer gummy bears, deadly ventriloquist dolls, and creepy creatures. Oh my. Hey, I was not paid to be in this movie. Sony's first trailer for Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween, explores these childhood horrors. The film follows a pair of friends, portrayed by IT star Jeremy Ray Taylor and Castle Rock's Colleen Harris, who enter a dilapidated old house occupied by famed author R.L. Stein, or Jack Black, one of the two.
Yeah.
Still wonder what the hell they were thinking with that casting.
I don't know. It was, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't think this house is giving out candy, Harris's character muses. Taylor decides to open a locked box that unleashes Slappy the dummy, who snarls, "Did you miss me?" Slappy is like the poster child for Goosebumps at these.
Yeah, pretty much. He's like he's like the unofficial mascot. Yeah, either that or Monster Blood, right?
Monster Blood or Slappy, yeah.
So he's kind of the Crypt Keeper of Goosebumps?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Mayhem ensues as the creatures come to life. By the end of the trailer, the kids are being menaced by a group of angry gummy bears. I don't remember a Gummy Bears book in Goosebumps. The cast includes Wendy McClendon, Covey, Wendy McClendon Covey. Okay, got it right that time. Madison Seaman, Chris Parnell, and Ken Jehong, I believe. Ari Sandel, whose credits range from The Duff to When We First Met, directs from a script by Rod Lieber. Mm-hmm. And I apologize for butchering all of those names. I want to see a Fear Street movie, and I heard that there were rumors after the first Goosebumps movie that there would be a Fear Street movie.
Yeah, there have been rumors of that for a while.
Yeah.
Speaking of Goosebumps, I actually did find my old Goosebumps sticker collection from the 90s.
Awesome!
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you for digging that up. That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually have like 10 of these. If maybe I'll give them away when I hit 4,000 subscribers. Maybe I'll do a giveaway of some of the stickers that I have. I also have stickers of something else, but I'll actually show that later when we talk about something else. So.
Yeah, I remember Goosebumps books were everywhere. There were so damn many of them, but the only one I remember having was the one where your father's trying to get the kids to eat their vegetables, but it's because the father's turning into a plant monster in the basement.
Yes, it's called Don't Go in the Basement.
Don't go into the basement, that's it. Yeah. But I was more of a fan of the Fear Street books than the Goosebumps books, yeah, but I do want to see a Fear Street movie. But hey, Goosebumps too. That's awesome too.
Jason Schwab says we've now entered nostalgia hell.
Hey, that was last time.
Yeah, that was
a previous episode. Yeah. Alex N gave us 55 more knocks, saying it's a stupid.
Stop doing that, man. You said you broke already. You going into debt here. Stop.
I was wondering about that too. I thought you said you were broke. How much more do you have? It's a stupid question, but I'm sorry, Patricia, go on.
No, you read it.
It's a stupid question, but if you have the time, could you check out my channel? I love what you do and keep on doing what you're doing. Is there I can't click on your name or anything. Is there a link?
Click on the 3 dots next to there. You can go to channel.
Go to channel. Okay.
What's he got going on here? Let me take a look-sees.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
27 subscribers. Pumpkin carving and horror movie talk. Oh, that sounds nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Cars came out of nowhere.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. PUBG gameplay.
Well,
but that was that was 11 months ago.
Yeah.
Now,
sure,
how many videos? Because the latest one says 8 months ago. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Go-to bread.
Go-to bread.
The return of nostalgia hell. If there's enough nostalgia, the return to nostalgia hell needs to be a future episode title. But we've already decided that the next episode is going to be titled Sandwiches.
Yeah, so we're gonna sing the Fred Penner song while we're opening up. What was it? I think it was like sandwiches or
1 2 3 7 8 4 4 4 games. Drop $2 more saying I too am broke. Decker. P.S. Sandwich. PPS. Sandwich.
Okay, now I can get the sandwich song. It's like, what was it? It's like sandwiches are beautiful. Sandwiches are fine. I like sandwiches. I eat them all the time. I eat them for my supper and I eat them for my brunch. And if I had a sandwich, I'll eat them for my lunch. I think. No.
Yeah.
No. If you gave me a sandwich, I like you very much.
Caleb Cornas says, "Don't feed the weirdo." My favorite Goosebumps book.
Hair Metal Maniac 1. Creepy, you looked so hot with your longer hair. I still have it. It's just in a ponytail right now.
That's a fun thing is like with my hair, since it's so puffy, when I put it back, you can still see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as mentioned in the last live stream, I had mine cut, so
yeah.
That and your webcam's slightly low quality, so
Yeah,
the
I
resolution
know.
is lower, so people can't see that your hair is still long on top
Right.
there. So they just think it's like buzz.
Anyway, so yeah, now we're talking. No, so speaking of the stickers that I had for the Goosebumps, let me talk to you guys about stickers that I have for another series from the 90s. So Creepy and I about a year ago we talked about Sailor Moon. And I'm sure a lot of people know about that. Around 1993, there was a 17-minute pitch of an American Sailor Moon that was going to be that was trying to be like an Americanized version of Sailor Moon that, never happened. And they were it was only like one showing in an Anime Expo in 1995. And for decades, people have been trying to look for it. Well, this is a really interesting article from Kotaku of a person who had been trying to search for that missing pitch that came out in the 90s. And just scrolling down. Oh, go ahead.
If Osagi doesn't have a Big Mac and a gun, I'm not interested.
Okay, well, it's actually interesting about what the other Sailor Guardians were going to be portrayed as. So let me just show off what the pictures of it right here are. Let me see if I can find it right there. Okay.
Oh my god!
Yes. So
Yeah.
recently they have. Okay. So recently, in addition to trying to find the pitch, the animation cells have been discovered, and this is what American Usagi would have looked like.
Sailor She-Ra.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is exactly it. Oh, and Decker, they wrote on surfboards.
Kat Luniscus says one was in a wheelchair, I remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
one was in a wheelchair, but they all rode surfboards.
Yes, and let me just actually there is a picture of one in a wheelchair. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's actually up a little bit higher. Let me see if I can find that picture. Let me see if it uploaded. No, I guess it didn't upload, huh? That's I think it's a little bit lower, but yes, this is the description of what the characters look like. So Sailor Mercury would have been in a wheelchair. Sailor Mars was Asian.
Why is Sailor Mercury in a wheelchair? That's so mean.
I know.
It's got an awkward enough kind of thing trying to, it's got social anxiety. Now you're like, you know what? Fuck you. You got to find the special bathroom on top of it.
Yeah, so Sailor Mercury would have been in a wheelchair.
Get in here without a fucking ramp, bitch. Just kick her down the stairs.
Yeah, Sailor Mercury would have been in a wheelchair. Sailor Mars was Asian. Sailor Venus was Hispanic, and Sailor Jupiter was black.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a picture of
in black, but no.
No, Sailor. Yeah. Sailor Jupiter.
Maybe that's just because I'm racist. I don't know.
Let me see. Oh, now I know what it is. It's the next page. There it is. I'm stupid. Here they are. This is what they would have looked like.
Yeah. Oh, and it was partially live action.
Yes, it was. In fact, that was it still exists, but in a very, very low quality showing because it was 95. It was the only time anybody could see it, and somebody was probably holding a camera. So yeah, this is what the Sailor Guardians would have looked like. So they were trying to be diverse, according to what the article says.
Right.
And we have Sailor Moon apparently in a spaceship Because
Yeah.
what?
Because how's she gonna get to the moon? Just call up NASA. Fuck it.
Right. It's like basically that was it. Like they heard sailors and they thought, well, the closest thing we can have to sailors in America is surfboards, and well, we'll put her in space, I guess.
Oh my god. Okay, this is the next one. We have Sailor Mars and a Skyflyer, which looks like that scene in Treasure Planet.
Oh man, yes.
Damn it, they still have the magic skirts that never. Nah, never mind.
Oh god, I don't need you. Okay, this is Sailor Mercury. Look at her lips. Her lips are gigantic.
Yes, they are. Also, I think they gave her a cowlick. See, there's like either that or she is a unicorn.
Oh my god, this is brilliant. Okay,
I have actually seen it. I have seen what you're talking about, and it is gloriously terrible.
Yes, and here's Sailor Jupiter.
Yeah,
which I'm all for diversity.
I am too. I mean, I will say it straight up. I'm all the diversity was not the problem.
It
was just
if the Sailor Scouts came out of the United States of America, it would not make the most sense if all of them were Japanese.
Yeah. Only Sailor Mars is Asian.
Right. So, but I'm saying, like the diversity was not the problem. The problem was just that the end result was just so bad.
Really bad. In fact, let's take a look at the script, shall we? Once upon another time, once upon another place, our solar system was besieged. There were many wars and fierce battles. Wicked Queen Beryl and her evil forces of darkness attacked good people everywhere. She captured the outer planets of Pluto, Neptune.
Leave the fucking bank robbers alone and the muggers.
And seized their jewels of power. The princess warriors ruled Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and the Earth's moon. To become absolute ruler, Queen Beryl must defeat the princess warriors and obtain the remaining cosmic jewels of power, the royal families of the 5 inner planets.
Okay, if Queen Beryl isn't the evil British supervillain, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Okay, so let's take a look at this particular page that was shown. Gee, some people just don't know how to have fun. Nice work, ladies. And there's a scratch that says, uh-oh, spread out. I don't know what that means. It's just, uh-oh. And then wait for my signal, and then scratch out to, this creep is mine. Mercury, wait.
Mercury, wait, you can't walk.
Take that, tall, dark, and gruesome. Watch out. Make sure that she's all right.
Watch out, radioactive man.
Make sure she's all right. She can't feel her legs. Oh, never mind.
Okay. We begin with Sailor Moon's betrothal to Darien, the prince of the earth. Oh, Darien, I look forward to this day, says Sailor Moon. According to the script, is obviously in love.
Well, duh.
As have I, Darien responds. At last we will be together. Then a chill breeze. There's a solar eclipse.
Well,
suddenly, says the narrator, the dark galleon of Queen Beryl appeared in the horizon. The princesses hastened to their sky flyers. So this is what I missed the dance for, said Sailor Venus. You guys are in for it.
God. This is the part where I changed the channel.
And if I break a nail, you're really in for it. My God, no.
Thank God I already changed the channel.
This dialogue alone, but no, I mean, like it was like just really. I mean, like you could just imagine that people in Japan who found it, like the people behind Sailor Moon who found out about this were just like, oh man.
Oh my God.
It's like every single character is Usagi.
Yeah.
Why? You can't. Oh my God. Okay, but anyway, continuing on with the article of this person's, never-ending attempt of trying to find the pilot that was featured in San Diego Comic-Con in '95, she got a hold of a person who worked at Renaissance Atlantic, and his name was Frank Ward, and he said that he claimed to have a pilot that they were working on, but sadly it was not the pilot they were looking for. It was actually a spiritual successor to Sailor Moon called Team Angel, the American Sailor Moon. And I saw it, and my God, it is just glorious. You have these 5 women with like this blue screen backdrop where everything's like glowing and there's like stars and moons, and it's just fast. It's just glorious. My God. It was supposed to come out in 1998. It's only like a few seconds long, but My God, it is just amazing. It's not exactly 100% Sailor Moon, but they were basically heavily inspired by it, and it was almost going to be like Sailor Moon.
Right.
So yeah, this is a thing that has been lost for like 2 decades that nobody even knew existed.
Right.
Let me just see if I can get like a little, like a picture of it without even getting copyright claims. So,
well, it might not because of. I mean, who's claiming this, if anyone? Well, someone might claim that.
Yeah. Well, all right, fine.
Forza Motorsport, yeah, plays
Damn
unknown
it.
battle.
All right, I'm just going to scroll down for a little bit. So yeah, basically, while we're waiting for that, I actually do have my Sailor Moon stickers right over here.
Awesome.
Yeah, and these are also from the '90s, very similar to the Goosebumps stickers. And when I was at MegaCon last year, I actually had them signed by both the Canadian voice actors and the current cast of Sailor Moon. So it was actually pretty cool. So yeah, right now I think they're about to show off the I think they're about to show it off. So let me just scroll it up just a little bit. I'm just gonna pause it.
The Lost American Sailor Moon.
All right, so okay. When the girls show up, so when the girls show up, I'm just gonna pause it because I don't want copyright claims. And if you're not hearing any sound, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
Right. Okay, right there. There we go.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. There's your Sailor Guardians, ladies and gentlemen.
I do have one question real quick.
Why are they?
Say that I found, if I posted a link in the super chat text, does that count against us, like as far as copyright striking?
I don't think so. In fact, I'll post it right now.
No, I found the Toon Maker, the opening for the Toon Makers, aka Saban Sailor Moon, that this article is talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought I'd post it there. If I thought that it would not get anyone in trouble. So. Oh
my God, this is glorious! I mean, look at their hair, look at their outfits. It is just amazing.
Yes.
All right, I think we're done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was going to be a second attempt of a live action Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Oh man. Man.
No, Kevin. Creepy did not cut his hair.
Yeah.
Hair cut Creepy. He's now just a head.
Yes.
See? Still here. Also, hold on. I was up here somewhere.
Right.
Oh, okay. Imagine an American bubblegum crisis. I would rather not, because I actually really love Bubblegum Crisis. Both versions. Well, not so much Bubblegum Crash, but
Satoshi Katsumoto says they look like I need to get a better agent.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So moral of the story, everybody, if you're trying to find a lost media article, a lost media video from like 25 years ago, there will be a really slim chance that you'll find another one that you didn't even know exist.
Yes.
Michael Wolf asks, why is America obsessed with making live action versions of animated shows? Because drawing is hard.
Yes, very difficult.
Oh.
Okay, Yodecker, I have a question for you. Are you doing a stream on your gaming channel? Probably not today. There's just so much. Geez. It's been a long time since I did the last stream on the gaming channel. But it's just so much. And yeah, today, it's already 9:30.
Yeah.
We're going at this for 2.5 hours, and there's still lots of news to go.
Yeah, let's go over to the next bit of news.
Yes,
because we stuck on this for a while. So yeah, final words. There was going to be an American Sailor Moon in the '90s, and it would have been gloriously bad.
Yes.
All right, next bit of news. So we're getting a reboot to a superhero. TV series, well, somewhat superhero, but, somebody who fought against vampires. Buffy the Vampire Slayer is getting a reboot.
It was bound to happen one day.
Yeah, eventually. So, yes. Monica Owusu Breen is going to write the script, and Joss Whedon is going to be the executive producer. And let's see if I can find this. Oh, here we go. Okay, so Decker, why don't you read the next one?
Alrighty. Television has hired Monica okay, you already just
Yeah,
said
Owusu Breen. I don't know.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is getting the reboot treatment. 20th Century Fox Television, who produced the original Joss Whedon drama, has offered a new take on the beloved Sarah Michelle Gellar drama in development. Writer Monica Owusu, God damn it, who worked with Whedon on ABC's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., has been hired to pen the adaptation and serve as showrunner on the reboot. Whedon will be an executive producer of the series and has been working with stop doing that on the script, which features a black actress stepping into the role of Buffy made famous by Gellar. Because evidently Joss isn't feminist enough? I don't know. Gail Berman, Joe Early, Fran Kazui, and Kaz Kazui, who produced Whedon's original Buffy film that inspired the TV series, will also serve as executive producers on the potential series. A network is not yet attached for the new Buffy talks for which began last fall. Producers Fox 21 TV Studios will pitch the Buffy redo to streaming and cable outlets later this summer in a package bound to ignite a bidding war. It's unclear if Whedon will have any additional role in the new Buffy due to his other commitments, which include HBO's recent straight-to-series order, The Nevers. That stuff. Thing. Yeah. Mr. Whedon, yes.
All right, so yeah, just like what Creepy said, Buffy the Vampire Slayer wasn't.
Lazarus82 says a black chick named Buffy, stripper. Calling it now.
I will say that I'm not angry about this, but I do have a question.
Cider Salt says if it flops, he'll call fans sexist man babies, and I'm thinking, yeah, but fans of Buffy, like. Can you pull off the if you don't like this, it's just because you're an old guard straight white male who hates diversity and progress when it's old fans of Buffy you're talking about?
Also, 123784444 games donated $2 in super chat. Sandwiches threw you off that badly. Oh well, sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
I will say that I'm not angry about this, but I do have a question. Why couldn't this be a sequel to Buffy?
That's a good question. It's not like there's nowhere to go in the story.
Yeah, I mean, there was talk for a while of making several Buffy spinoffs. There was talk of making a TV movie about Giles the Watcher's early years. There was talk of a Faith the Vampire Slayer series. And there was even talk of something that was tentatively named Slayer High, about a high school, a boarding school style situation where neophyte slayers were sent to train and become, slayers, graduated slayers.
I guess maybe the reason why it didn't go anywhere was because maybe they thought it would have copied off like X-Men Evolution or something.
Right, yeah. Well, and this was before all the other shows were trying to do that.
I feel like every single one of those would be a better option than let's just take the original and give her a spray tan.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just about to answer. Dark Necrosis says, calling it now, Charmed will be next on the reboot list. It already has been confirmed that a Charmed reboot is going to happen. So
agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, I did know.
It has been confirmed.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Later.
Yeah,
on.
It has. It actually was talked about in San Diego Comic-Con. So we'll talk about that later.
Right. But no, I mean, like, the Buffyverse is expansive, and it's established that, there's, in the beginning there was only one Slayer, but every time there was one Slayer died, a new one was called, and at the end of the series, spoiler alert, there were a whole bunch of Slayers. So, if it's been several years, it's been like over a decade since then, what does the world look like now? And why can't this just be a new Slayer, but set in the Slayer universe? Why not just continue the story from a different character's viewpoint?
What if it actually is that, but her name happens to be Buffy, and they're just really just doing a disservice? And I don't know. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt here. It just
you could do that. I mean, it's not that Buffy can't be rebooted. It's just I feel like fans would respond to it a bit more positively if that was the case. If the story, if the universe was being expanded upon by giving us new characters. And I do know that for a fact that one thing that people were disappointed about with the original show was that in season 2, through a literal fluke, in universe within the story, there are 2 Slayers, and they team up for a hot minute in season 2. And people were really disappointed that they couldn't have that on a more permanent basis, that wasn't, something that happened. We got a little bit of that in season 3, but then it got complicated for other reasons that I won't get into because that's a lot of that's a whole wiki page to study. So just do a season 3 Buffy wiki page search and you'll get there eventually. But there was talk of like, hey, why can't we have a show about where there's more than one Slayer and more than one Slayer that's a focus? So I
never really watched much Buffy, but I did watch quite a bit of an Angel.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the spinoff series.
Yeah, and Angel was a spinoff series.
I can't remember anything from it, but I just look outside my door, I look down, I see the welcome mat, and I'm just there like, yeah.
But no, I feel like that could work, and so that's my 2 cents. Anyway.
Okay. So Darth Necrosis said, "What? I was joking." But no, we are getting a Charmed reboot. In fact, I actually have it opened right now. So Charmed producers vow CW reboot will honor the original. And this is going to be cast...
Sorry.
Hey then.
Okay, sorry.
You okay, Creepy?
Oh, just remembering the original series and... Okay, maybe this is one time where moving away from, the original source material will work in your favor.
Let's see if they do. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so after original star Holly Marie Combs bashed the CW's revival, the new cast and showrunners came together for a panel at Comic-Con with words of encouragement for fans of the original. Let's see. The original was so much about female empowerment and sisterhood and strong women taking over the world, and I feel like that's what we need right now. It felt like a good time to get back to that and show women kicking ass. But now they're bringing back a classic series that can make fans of the original wary of ruining the legacy. That's why stars of the reboot are quick to promise that they are not here to mess with history. Charmed is so iconic, Jeffrey says. They laid the groundwork, and we want to be respectful of that. And the mythology of everything, we want to honor that with a modern twist. Come join us. Adds Matt Talk. We come in peace. The original was wonderful, and they were trailblazers, and we cannot be here without them. This is something in here for everyone. Little treats for the original fans. We're so grateful that we love the original, and we're huge fans. That's why we wanted to do this, and rooted in the original, deeply rooted in the original. Stating that twice to let you know, hey, it's going to be like the original. Don't hate us.
Okay.
So, yeah. Oh, wow. Also, it says here, and as for the CW's decision to add a feminist twist for the reboot... Combs deadpan. Guess we forgot to do that the first go around. Okay. Yeah. Charms, the original's idea of feminism, for anyone who doesn't know, was special. Like, Charmed was like really, really trying to make people think that it was feminist, but oh wow.
Kat Luniska says, it was so much about female empowerment. It was about man bashing. I'm a girl. I rewatched it. Watch Movie Night's retrospective on it. It's a good one.
Yes, okay. Yes. Obscurus Lupa, aka Movie Nights now. She did an entire retrospective on each season of Charmed, and like each time there was a new season retrospective, the videos got longer and there were more videos because there was so much more to hate about it each season.
Okay.
And she does talk about, like, as a woman and a feminist, she talks about how bad the show is with feminism, and she raises a lot of good points about it too. So yeah. I'm just laughing so hard about the fact that they're trying to say we're going to be empowered and feminist, and be like, are you going to be empowered and feminist in the same way the first show was, or are you going to try and do it right this time? That's a big concern I have.
123784444 games drops $2 more. Says, honor the past, said every reboot. then it dies.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, the Nestine 100 says dies from reboot-itis.
John Ratchey says, if it doesn't have the same charm as the good old show, then I'm one of Creepy's long-lost family members.
Oh, bad pun. Okay.
Darth Necrosis says, oh god, I fear they might try to reboot Quantum Leap next.
I think they have.
I was going to say, I feel like I heard
I'm
something.
out, fuck it.
Let me just double check to see if they did reboot Quantum Leap.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna double check.
I want to say that I read something about that somewhere.
Let me just double check. Let me see. Let me try to see.
Quantum Leap is the revival genre television desperately needs.
Is that
Quantum Leap creator has a script for a reboot.
There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Quantum Leap is getting a reboot.
Moving on.
Okay. Yes. Moving on. Moving on. Oh God. Okay. Let's talk about new stuff. We'll talk about remakes later because there's another one that's getting a remake. Okay. We're good. So we have a horror movie to talk about that's new. That's not a remake of anything. So we're going to be talking about Megan. James Wan, Jason Blum, partner on robot horror movie Megan. Megan with a 3. All right, so
In other words, I can't spell.
all right, so Creepy, why don't you read this one?
Alrighty then. Sorry, having some trouble moving the mouse. Okay. Aquaman director James Wan and horror movie maven Jason Blum are collaborating on the robot horror movie Megan, or Mithrigan. The duo have hired Gerard Johnstone to direct from a script by Akela Cooper, who has worked on Luke Cage and American Horror Story. Oh boy. Shooting is scheduled to begin in the fall. American Horror Story. It will never leave. The project was announced on Wednesday, a day before the opening of Comic-Con in San Diego, where both are scheduled to appear. Bloom will tout M. Night Shyamalan's Glass and the reboot of Halloween, while Wan will discuss Aquaman and The Nun. Megan is centered on a toy company roboticist who develops a lifelike doll programmed to emotionally bond with her new orphaned niece, only to see the doll become overprotective. Wait, a doll who is overprotective and loves the child but hates adults? That was the plot of an episode in the Twilight Zone. Like the original black and white Twilight Zone. This is word for word the description of the Twilight Zone episode.
Crap, it's another remake.
Sorry, guys.
Wan and Bloom will produce. Michael Clear of Wan's Atomic Monster banner will executive produce, with Judson Scott overseeing for the company. Blumhouse's Cooper Samuelson will executive produce. How many producers does this need, period? While Ryan Turkett will supervise for the banner.
I think let me see if there's anything else. No, that's it. Okay.
So, how about that Kill a Doll movie, huh?
Yes. Well, at least it's not a remake. I mean, not official one anyway.
It's not an honest remake. It's
No, we'll talk about an honest remake in a minute. Sadly.
Yeah.
Considering that we've been talking about remakes throughout this entire time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what should we talk about? There's not really much not to talk about with Megan. We don't know. There's no trailer for it. There's no pictures for it yet. So I'm sure that more down the line we'll get some more information about it. So what should we talk about in terms of remakes and reboots? Should we talk about a remake of a David Cronenberg film, or should we talk about a reboot of a movie that was already rebooted?
What?
Yeah, I know. What?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the reboot that was already rebooted. So, here, brace yourselves.
Braced.
RoboCop.
Ah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting another RoboCop because the first reboot didn't work out so well.
Alex Murphy is back. Back again.
Then RoboCop's back. Tell a friend.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess
RoboCop,
who's back?
the cyborg lawman who cannot be killed by humans, the law, or Hollywood apparently, is back. Today, Deadline reported that MGM is producing a new installment of the franchise, a reboot of the planned sequel written by the 1987 picture's original writers, which never made it to theaters because of a writer's strike the year after RoboCop's premiere, and because Paul Verhoeven, who directed the original film, thought directing a sequel would be he didn't say it in English. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. The script languished for years until the run-up in the 2016 election. The president of MGM, Jonathan Glickman, called up Ed and Michael Miner, the two writers of 1987's RoboCop. He called me and said, "You actually predicting your sequel script that a really alley star will run for president with?" We had, Neumier told Deadline. So Mike and I wrote a draft and gave one of you Bubba Roses. I think the only person who read it was Neil Blomkamp and set it in motion. Now, Neil Muir has a producer credit and Miner is an executive producer. Okay.
So Neil Blomkamp, who did Elysium and Chappie, is going to be the one doing the RoboCop reboot. And
so
apparently,
the script that they didn't make the sequel out of, they had a reality star becoming president, and that was before the 2016 election. And then they're like, shit, that would have been, everyone would have been talking about our movie, and now they're not. Fuck.
Yeah. So apparently this is going to be a sequel to the original movie, very similar to almost every single Godzilla movie over the past couple of years, and more recently, the Halloween movie. So basically, the reboot that we had a few years ago is not going to get a sequel, and it's going to be pretty much just a blip into the RoboCop franchise.
123784444 games dropped $2, said Quantum Leap remake, and like that, I'm out. And then much later, very recently, he said for $2, "Yo, you missed Super's chat. I sent the sandwich be sad."
Aww.
Sandwich.
Sad.
So many sandwiches.
Oh God! But yeah, so is the new RoboCop gonna be like the new RoboCop, but it's gonna be a newer RoboCop, or is it gonna be more like the old RoboCop because the new RoboCop wasn't like the old RoboCop?
RoboCop, yes.
Lazarus Soul 82 sent $10 and said, "If I have a son, he will be named a remake. A daughter, she will be named a reboot. Ha! If you get the joke, you're my people. Laugh out loud." Also, since you brought it up, beep beep reboot.
Oh God.
Next, Kevin Burdine said,
RoboCop, rebooty. Okay.
Kevin Burdine said, "Next thing they're going to reboot Orgasmo."
Or what?
The Great Orgasmo. It was
John Ratsey says, "Beep beep, Richie."
Oh my God.
Yes, The Great Orgasmo was a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That is all
So let's talk about the second reboot that I was hinting at, a reboot to a David Cronenberg film. So you might know about who David Cronenberg is, very well known for directing the remake of The Fly. So think about this. So there's going to be a remake of a David Cronenberg horror movie called Rabid, and it's going to star MMA fighter CM Punk and AJ Lee. Okay. That's something that I didn't think of for casting, but sure.
Is CM Punk going to be the bad guy? Is he just going to break through the wall and MMA people to death?
That'd be amazing, actually. Okay, so CM Punk and AJ Lee has been announced for an upcoming horror movie called Rabid. The film will be a remake of the 1977 David Cronenberg movie of the same title. It will be written and directed by the Soska twins. I don't know who they are. The movie stars Laura Vandervoort and Ben Hollingsworth, with Punk and AJ in supporting roles. Punk will play Billy, while AJ plays a character named Kira. I hope she doesn't.
She has the Death Note.
Yes, she has the Death Note. Okay, so let's see. Canadian production company Back 40 Pictures announced today that production has been in the Greater Toronto area on the feature film Rabid, written and directed by Jen and Sylvia Soska, the Soska twins, and John Sergey. Rabid stars Laura Vandervoort as Rose, a demure seamstress who goes through a radical transformation after electing for plastic surgery following a disfiguring accident. Ben Hollingsworth is Brad, a fashion photographer. Rabid is a remake of the classic David Cronenberg 1977 horror feature film, which will be executive produced by Ivan Reitman. Oh, from Ghostbusters. Neat. Rabid will also star Hanneke Talbot, who portrays Rose's best friend Chelsea, and Mackenzie Gray is an arrogant fashion designer Gunter. Rabid will feature WWE star CM Punk as Billy. Oh, it's not MMA. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. And his wife, New York Times bestseller author AJ Mendez as Kira. It's a tremendous horror to be reimagined. David's 1977 body horror classic Rabid with such incredible support behind us. We're not fans of the current trends of soulless remakes as they disrespect the fans and the original body of work. Oh, wow. That just goes to show you that if anybody was a fan of Rabid, they're basically saying, don't worry, we know about how soulless remakes are. Ours is going to be really faithful because that way you don't remotely hate us as much.
It's amazing.
Our
All
Rabid-
these reboots that are in production are going to be so faithful and respectful of the material.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Because we're told that they are. That's how we know. And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
What we got?
Let's see, where was I?
1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 4, 4, 4 games, dropped $5 more and said, yo, Decker, on your next Live and Wire, can I be on this stream and yell sandwiches at the start? Now I'm officially broke. My last $5, no more sandwiches.
Sorry. Okay, this
I
will
don't
not
know
be.
about having people like just at rant. I could talk to you. See, we can hit it off. See if you can be on Live and Wire. I don't know, but I don't, especially for the super chat, because then anyone could just be like, okay, I'm paying, I'm going to be on, which sounds like a nice business thing in the short term, but in the long run, I would worry about quality as a thing. But we could send messages. I don't know, see something.
Okay.
You've been a supporter for a while. That requires some level of respect.
Let's see. Our Rabid is a continuation of the thoughts and conversation David started, but modernized through a female perspective. The film will not only honor his original Rabid, but also Cronenberg's entire body of work. This would not have been possible without a team behind us that cares about the artist as well as the fans. Drawing influences from the original movie, the remake is set in the seductive and glamorous world of high fashion, and will follow Rose, a young woman whose disfigurement after an accident leads to a radical and untested stem cell treatment. While turning Rose into the belle of the ball, the experimental transformation comes at a price. Let's see. I don't think there's any bigger fans of David and Cronenberg than the sisters, so it was really exciting that they agreed to help this project. They will put their own stamp of the movie, of course, but with nothing but to the utmost respect of David, and that's important when you're making a classic horror film like Rabid, says producer Paul Lalonde. The Soska twins are the hottest young directors in the horror space right now, and our talented cast, headed by Laura Vandervoort and Ben Hollingsworth, will give horror fans a chilling, character-driven story with plenty of body horror. We got a fantastic cast, a great crew, top-notch special effects, and industry-leading stunt coordinators. And having the whole story set in the backdrop of high fashion, that's only a great chance of some important social commentary, but as a fun twist on horror, a peek inside the world of hot torture, if you will. Ugh. Whew. Okay. So yeah, I've actually never seen and or heard of Rabid until just reading this.
The Nestine 100 says, claims of being a reboot being faithful to the original bring back memories of the shot-by-shot remake of Psycho. What could possibly go wrong? Thompson Corner.
I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but since it was mentioned, announced just recently, we'll just have to wait and see.
Yes.
And Glenn Talbot says Rabid is a vampire film. Oh, really? Huh. I guess the serum to fix her face makes you a vampire? Interesting. Now I'm actually more curious into doing more research on it. All right. We should probably
people.
I mean, why wouldn't it be? I mean, I'm sure you know what. I take it that if you're a vampire, I mean, I guess that would be the case.
What if you just slightly wound them?
That could be possible.
Eh.
All right. I guess we can start wrapping things up. We only have a few more articles to discuss.
Dimeblade 17 says, "Damn, the only cliche they are missing is this will be the scariest movie of the year."
Yep.
Even more cliche at this point in time, the scariest movie on Netflix that nobody's going to be finishing watching because it's too scary.
So they're going to turn it off early just because they're so spooked.
Yes. Right. All right. Let's take a break from movies and let's go over some YouTube news because I think that we need a break from the reboots.
Enough happy topics.
Yeah, let's go over to some depressing stuff, which there's a lot of depressing stuff. Lots of depressing stuff on YouTube because of course it is. All right, let me just pull out let's discuss about like some self-awareness on YouTube because we're making progress. YouTube stresses creator communication concerns over platform experiments as top issues. So, who wants to read this one? How about you, Creepy?
I was about to say. Okay.
You sound so enthusiastic.
I know.
Okay. YouTube is working to better its communication with creators and ensure that people aren't spending a healthy amount of time watching videos online, according to a creator update from CEO Susan Wo. I don't know how to pronounce the name, and I don't care enough to try.
That's what I want to hear. She wants to make sure that people aren't watching my videos too much.
I know. I thank you. Susan produced a blog post yesterday and uploaded a video with the same information to her personal YouTube channel addressing some updates the team at YouTube has worked on throughout the year. The update mentioned a few milestones for the company, more than 1.9 billion logged-in monthly users and more than 180 hours of videos watched daily on TV screens, but also touched upon some important moves to benefit creators and viewers. One of those areas is an increased active presence on Twitter, where creators and viewers often reach out to YouTube employees for help because they don't have a helpline or any way of getting in touch with people who can actually do something. This is a big talking point for creators who have asked for more support through social media sites like Twitter.
Good, that's the only freaking option.
Again, so the company made a conscious effort to enter 600% more tweets.
Wow.
Official handles this year compared to all of 2017. It's an attempt from the company to be more active with the creator base, a complaint that creators have voiced in the past and are still voicing right now.
They're going to answer 12 more of them. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
We continue to prioritize communicating more with creators. YouTube has used its Twitter account to issue statements regarding a number of issues in the past few months, including touchy subjects for creators like how notifications work and experiments that creators weren't given a head up on.
Why is how notifications work a touchy subject, YouTube? Think about this.
Yeah. Like auto-generated thumbnails on a small percentage of videos. She addressed these concerns in the post, noting that working on the platform and addressing concerns doesn't come without challenges, like actually doing things. While the future is full of opportunity, it's not without challenges, like doing things. One of the things we make YouTube better is through testing and iterations. But we understand that some changes related to experiments are difficult to manage, or just manage in general. So in order to minimize the disruption for you, we will wait, I lost my place, sorry. Minimize the disruption for you, we will make our best effort to communicate with you as these tests approach, and we will use your feedback to make the features better in the long run. I'm not even going to try anymore. One other important issue that she expanded on was digital well-being and encouraging people to spend time away from YouTube. So don't do this anymore.
I was like, what is the YouTube CEO doing? Everyone's like, I got the feeling that she's actually actively trying to encourage people not to use YouTube. And like, no, that's not it. And hey, what's she doing here? Please don't use YouTube. Like, what? What's that? What the?
Oh, you know what? I'm done.
I think we're done.
We're done.
My God.
Oh my head.
Why?
I mean, on one hand, I understand like Nintendo, the 3DS occasionally pops up and is like, hey, you know what? You've been playing for a couple of hours. You want to take a walk? But Nintendo, I already bought the 3DS. I already bought the game. They're not getting any more money out of me, so they can tell me to just go fucking walk. Whereas this is similar to like if during like the Super Bowl, occasionally some of a personality just come on and say, "You've seen enough TV today, haven't you? Maybe think about turning it off."
You know what I'm reminded of? The scene in The Simpsons. By the way, I'm aware of the irony of appearing on TV in order to decry it, so don't bother pointing that out. This is kind of like that. This is like YouTube is telling people, don't watch YouTube.
Yes. Don't watch YouTube.
Seriously, people, keep watching YouTube. If you have no life, that's good. You can watch more of us.
Yes, and if you didn't think that that was just a twist in a knife twist to your heart about, oh, this is what, the discussion of YouTube to make it better is for people to not watch YouTube, well, I have some more bad news. So, YouTube terminates accounts promoting Twitch streams. So if you're on Twitch, don't mention that you're going to be promoting an upcoming Twitch stream because YouTube will terminate your account.
I got some people talking to me about this on my gaming channel because I do restream for YouTube and Twitch and Mixer all at the same time. And someone say, hey, you might not want to stream to Twitch because YouTube might nuke your account because of it. And I don't think that's what it is. I mean, I don't know. YouTube does crazy stuff. They'll just nuke you for anything. But it's not. If I was like on the main channel, what I used to do with uploading to Blip, and then I'd have the review trailer on YouTube, and I'd be saying, "Hey, go to Blip." That's the kind of stuff that gets your channel nuked.
Yeah.
But then I was tiny. They didn't notice. So.
Yeah. Also, real quick, Darth Necrosis, you are most welcome. Just wanted to say that real quick. But yeah, like anytime there's YouTube news, it either seems redundant, contradictory, or stupid.
I eventually hope to have Live and Wired actually going to my Twitch and Mixer as well. But I also want to see about expanding it to other streaming services. I'd like to get a Live and Wired restreamed everywhere. That's just kind of a thing. I want to be the cancer of the internet, spreading and consuming.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Life goals. But yeah, Linus Tech Tips actually got his channel nuked for promoting Twitch streams. And he's not a small guy.
Right.
It got reinstated because he's not a small guy. But yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of you already know Linus Tech Tips because I mean I got some emails from some sponsorship companies with YouTube to try and shill some of their stuff because evidently the channel's large enough now where they're like, hey, you know what? You can put an Audible commercial in your videos and we'll give you a certain amount of money. What are your rates? And I'm sitting there thinking like, that does not fit in the structure of the reviews at all. That would just seriously fuck with the flow of everything if I just drop an Audible commercial in there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no. But yeah, Linus Tech Tips, that he's big enough, he's way big enough that one of the things I remember is like, I start off, there's about 5 seconds of him saying the basic synopsis of the video. Then there's the opening animation, and then there's like a 1 or 2 minute commercial where he's shilling something, and then the actual video starts. So I listen to the first 5 seconds, and then I skip ahead a minute, and then keep skipping ahead 10 more seconds until the video starts.
Right.
All right. Well, I think we've had enough of YouTube news, which is crazy because we wanted that as a break from all the reboots. So I guess let's end things off on a happier note. So we did talk about earlier that there was going to be an Uncharted movie that's been going through developmental hell for the longest time. And I think I remember when that was announced of the Uncharted movie. I think I remember a friend of mine was saying, like 10 years ago, it's like, who would be a great Nathan Drake? Nathan Fillion, because he was great as the main protagonist in Firefly, and it's like Nathan Drake. And unfortunately, that never happened. And at this point in time, Nathan Fillion is probably not like, I don't think he will be like physically ready for, all the jumping and all that stuff from the Uncharted franchise that, they probably want to get somebody younger. But not to worry, everybody, because there is there's a short film featuring Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake as featured. Let's see, what was it? You may have finished Uncharted 4: Thief's End, but Nathan Drake's story is far from over. This morning, director Alan Unger unveiled a stunning Uncharted live-action fan film starring Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake. Fillion's performance is absolutely inspired, and we mean that. This is Nathan Drake made flesh. His appearance, his attitude, and his one-liners are spot on, and after watching this, we are convinced that he was born for this role. And yeah, I mean, there was talks about it for a long time when, I first heard about this, that he would have been a great Nathan Drake. So yeah, if you are interested in watching it, there is the fan film. Please go check it out. It's actually pretty interesting, and it would have been, I think it would have been great if he actually would have been in the official film, but as of right now, it's still in developmental hell, as will be like a lot of other movies that, have been announced from video games.
Right.
I think that part of the problem is that video games, the structure of the way the story is told usually doesn't translate too well to film. Yeah.
That's true, but I mean, I guess if you are, I guess Uncharted could make sense because it will be like Indiana Jones or Tomb Raider. Why don't you, do something like that? I mean, there was a Tomb Raider movie that came out recently, and I have never seen it, but I do know that it is possible.
I haven't seen the new Tomb Raider movie, but I also haven't really been enjoying the new Tomb Raider games, so.
Well, I mean, Cat Lunacia, I'm not calling him old. I'm just talking about like what Hollywood would perceive as like they probably want to get somebody younger. You know how Hollywood is. They always want to get the young hip guy.
True.
Let's see. There's been a lot of other stuff that's been discussed about in Comic-Con. There's the Invader
Val
Zim.
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer as Nathan Drake.
Yes.
No.
Damn it.
Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, there's been a lot of other things that have been discussed about in San Diego Comic-Con. There's the Invader Zim TV movie. It's called Invader Zim: Enter the Florpus. And then we have Aaron Ehas, who was one of the major writers of Avatar: The Last Airbender. He's going to be having a Netflix animated series called The Dragon Prince, which looks really, really interesting. And also, let's see what else. There's, Walking Dead Season 9 and a whole bunch of others. But we're already pushing towards like 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I think that we can start wrapping things up.
Yeah, a little past 10 over here.
Yeah. I think that we've been doing this for 3 hours. I think that we should wrap things up.
Agreed.
So, what's everyone working on?
Oh, I'm sorry. Ladies first. No, really. Ladies first.
Okay.
Open mouth, insert foot.
Well, let's see. I am going to be recording another episode of Casual Chats really soon. And as for videos, I'm still thinking about what video to put out because I have a lot of ideas, but nothing like concrete. Although I was able to get my my From Pilot to Final Product of the Fairly Odd Parents uploaded that I haven't uploaded on YouTube since 2016 when Viacom shut it down and gave me a copyright strike. So you can go check that out.
But those are always fun.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I'll be doing a new episode of Casual Chats, though, about something that happened recently in terms of a company that I don't want to spoil too much about it, but it's going to be really interesting and very, very long. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for now. So go ahead, Creepy.
This weekend or the early part of next week is going to be like a whole bunch of updates because unfortunately, I did not get some stuff done or sent to me in time to get them out as early as I thought I would. Nobody, not placing blame here, just stuff happens. But I did. So this week is going to be basically just a whole bunch of updates. I've got a DuckTales retrospective that is approximately halfway finished.
Nice.
I have the new Scooby-Doo retrospective,
Woo!
which I have everything for. I just have not edited it together yet.
Is it what is it? What I think it is?
It's Scooby-Doo. It's What's New Scooby-Doo.
Yes, finally.
Finally, I'm doing that one. And I will explain, you will find out in the review why I have taken so long doing this one, why I have deliberately been putting this one off.
I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah. What's New Scooby-Doo is going to be coming out, and the new X-Men retrospective is coming out.
Nice.
And funny thing, remember how I said last time that there was going to be a guest star in one of my reviews, later on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's going to be 2 guest stars now.
Oh, nice.
One for the X-Men review and one for a review that's coming a little bit later.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So that's what's going on. So basically, it's going to be edit, must get all the things out.
All right.
Decker knows what that's like. I think.
Of course.
Maybe a little bit.
I mean, I'm a little. I feel like, what is it now? 4 months behind, but yeah. But yeah. First of all, Lachlan Ellery says, "Decker, please notice me." Hi, Lachlan. And what do I got going on? Well, I haven't uploaded anything to the gaming channel in a while, and I'm not going to upload any. I'm not going to do any streaming tonight because it's freaking late, and there's just so much pressure. I don't know why. Everything's just been feeling really crappy lately. Like not just with me. I've noticed. Have you noticed a lot of YouTubers you're watching? At least a lot of YouTubers I'm watching. They all seem really depressed right now.
I mean, with everything that's been going on, I don't blame you. If you are depressed, trust me, we know how you feel.
Everyone feels like shit. So I can't really say I feel terrible, so I can't do stuff because everyone else is still working and they clearly feel terrible too. It was like, you gotta fucking work circles around me now, man. But anyway, I might stream to the gaming channel tomorrow. Probably going to be continuing on Dad of Boy.
Nice.
And but tomorrow I'm also gonna have to finish filming the last bits for the Halloween 3 review, which I should start editing tonight in a little bit.
Okay.
And that hopefully will be out, I guess, Monday. Hope.
Fingers crossed.
It's so much delay. It's annoying. And I'm going to try to get caught up on things more. Me and Creepy are back to working together on the Toku Hero riffs, which is nice. I'm happy to be actually not just telling him, sorry, can't do it. You're on your own again forever.
Yeah, we started doing, for people who want to donate to my Patreon and hear Toku Hero riffs, we've started doing Spider-Man, the late 70s Japanese tokusatsu series. Yes, that was a thing.
I remember that.
Lachlan Ellery says, yes, Decker, I'm from Australia and I love your vids. Personal fave is the Friday the 13th series and collabs with Creepy. Please don't stop YouTube. And don't worry, I'm not going to stop YouTube. But yeah, Friday the 13th, that reminds me, very recently, the Jason Goes to Hell review got a fan subtitled.
Oh, nice.
And I checked it, and they got like almost everything right, except for like the instead of a or some other stuff like that. So just like 4 minor words I had to change when I watched over again. They did such a good job with that, and that's now live. So if anyone's listening who can't hear, you can now check out Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, with the subtitles that are actually accurate. And
all right, cool.
It's not because I did anything. I just checked and they did a good job. And I was like, nice, thank you.
And the Nestine 100, oh my god, Japanese Spider-Man revives from rebootitis. And Satoshi Katsumoto says, Spider-Man had a Megazord in that, didn't he? Yes.
But yeah, it takes a long time to transcribe a video. That's why I generally don't do it. So that's why I'm so impressed by their work. It takes much less time. Like it took me a half hour to look over it and check and make sure everything was okay, and then publish it. So
right.
That's much less time than it takes to transcribe a whole freaking video.
Yes. Thank you for saying that they enjoy me and Decker collabing together. That makes me feel really good, because usually whenever we do a collab together, there's gonna be like half a dozen or more people who say, fuck no.
I saw that bastard there, and I just immediately disliked and clicked off the video.
Yep. There was someone who actually said they did that once. The minute they found out that I was in the video, they stopped watching and they gave the video a dislike just because of that.
It's always fun. But yeah, I still got to get the rest of the Halloween series done for the summer of Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
should we go ahead and spoil for the people who are listening in?
Okay.
What's going to be happening during the Halloween review?
Which one? Because
H2O.
Oh.
There's some things that I've got ideas of. I don't know. The future is all up in the air and stuff. But if it does happen, it's probably going to result in the script getting done a lot faster because I'm probably not going to be the one doing it. But it's going to be enjoyable. Trust me. High quality entertainment here.
Woohoo.
Opening to H2O redo. Decker Shadow wakes up in his underwear.
But yeah, so that's about it.
Thank you, Brendan.
Thank you all for joining us.
Yes,
And
thanks for joining us.
I've been Decker Shado.
I've been Patricia.
And I am that long-haired creepy guy.
And remember, fake it until you remake it.
And spell check your code right before you make it into a video game. Otherwise, you'll be having twitchy AI.
Yeah.
Derpy the alien. Oh, okay.
Derpy the alien.